It's well known that two of the most important ingredients for a healthy lifestyle is diet and exercise. But what if you had to choose one? Which one is more important? Which one's better? Is it diet or is it exercise? We're going to get into it right now. Let's go.
I feel like I flip-flopped on this.
Yes.
Well, you have to eat to survive. So
That's extreme. That's extreme.
So I'll tell you why I flip-flopped on this. Of course, I would have said diet years ago.
Yeah.
In fact, we used to always say when you were talking to a potential new client that, 70% of your results come from diet, right? And so
abs are made in the kitchen.
That's right. Abs are made in the kitchen, all the things, right? We are now entering this time of, and I'm seeing more and more of this. So every time we talk about this, I actually run into more family, more friends, or more people I know that are on GLP-1s.
Oh, great direction.
And diet is actually not becoming a problem. Like they can all eat less without trying.
Yep.
Like it's like they have no problem not having the extra serving, having the dessert, drinking the alcohol. I mean, it has unlocked this hack for the average American that is almost unbelievable. But because of that, and what's wild too, this is so hard because these are like friends and close people to me. And I remember when I did the experiment, I would have never let me take pictures for the company had I thought I looked like that.
Oh, you're talking about when you were on?
Yes, bro. And we still use those
epic, Adam.
And we still use those photos. I just thought I was lean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just and I knew I lost some muscle, but there's a look that you get.
Yeah,
there is.
There is a look that you get. And when you're kind of in it, because I think you're losing so much body fat, you're like, and I saw my ass. I'm like, I'm fine. Yeah. And granted too, I had some muscle to lose because I had built so much, so probably not. But I have some friends who don't really train. They've used it and they've lost a lot of body fat, but they've also lost, and they look sickly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. And I remember this because I talked about this going with you guys. They don't have the motivation to train. They're so low calorie. And they're losing the weight, and the discipline to exercise just is not there. So for the first time in my life, I'm gonna flip-flop this and say exercise is gonna become more important.
I agree with you for a lot of different reasons, but one of the main reasons why I agree with you, because I think the GLP-1 scenario has illuminated this.
Yeah.
It's made it clear. But here's why I strongly agree with you. When it comes to being overweight, diet plays a bigger role. That's true. That's true. The data's clear on this. Like if you just exercise to lose weight, don't change your diet at all, you're not going to lose that much. Okay, that's what the data is very clear. Lots of studies on this. I've trained people for years. It's true. You go work out and don't change your diet, you won't lose that much weight. But here's also what the data shows. Can you be overweight and healthy? Yes. Can you be the right kind of weight or underweight and unhealthy? Yes. A significant percentage of people who get heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. Okay, so it's not the majority, but it's enough to equate to millions and millions of people. Okay, for heart disease, for example, it's like 20-something% of the people with heart disease are underweight or of normal weight. People with diabetes, it's something in that number. Cancer, same thing. So although obesity and being overweight plays a role in those things, we also see millions and millions of people get those things who are not overweight. What's going on? They're under-muscled and they don't exercise. And the data will show this. You can be overweight and fit and have great health and longevity if you're weak, if you have immobility, if you have low muscle and strength, your health is terrible. Yep. Your mortality goes through the roof. A stupid grip strength test can predict all-cause mortality better than almost any other single measurement you could take, which is wild. And that's just doesn't mean your grip is special. It just means it's a proxy for overall body strength. Mm-hmm. So if you had to pick one, and again, that's the question because both are important. But if you had to pick one, which one's going to have the greatest impact on overall health,
vitality,
really. Mobility, lifestyle? It's actually exercise. And then here's the second reason why. Now, this is from a trainer's perspective. When you're a trainer and you work with people for 20 years, you go away from everything they need to do to what's the most effective thing I can actually get people to do? Because that's the big problem. The big problem is getting people to do something. Because if everybody did everything I said, it would be great. It would be wonderful.
Right.
Just
Everybody
here's
would
your
be
diet. That'd be a piece of cake. But the hard thing is getting people to do
Anything.
what is right. And so this is the struggle of being a coach. It's way easier to get people to exercise than it is for them to fix their diet. That's why I pick exercise as well. Can I get the average person to walk daily, strength train a couple days a week? The odds of me convincing the average person to do that are far higher.
The adherence is way higher.
Way higher than me convincing the average person to overhaul their diet, which is what they need to do.
And
that is
slowly
very
you
difficult.
can correct the diet through this better patterns of movement, and I think it's one of those behavioral things that really kind of compiles the more you do it, the more better behaviors transpond right after that. So.
Well, and we know too that, I mean, muscle is an expensive tissue, right? It needs a lot of calories. It needs a lot of nutrients. And so even if you don't have the cleanest or best diet and you eat in a surplus, which is not ideal all the time, if you're lifting weights, some of that's getting partitioned over to building muscle, which is which is good for you. And so, yeah, I can't stress the GLP-1 argument too, because and you know, a lot of the stuff that you're touting right now is you know
what we're seeing, Adam. We're seeing people go on GLP-1s and come back with osteopenia.
Yeah,
osteopenia before osteoporosis. What?
Yeah.
Well, here's what's happening. They just started eating less. They lost muscle, lost body fat, but if you don't do anything to keep the muscle, you'll lose it. If you lose muscle, you lose bone.
Yeah.
I've seen fitness influencers come on and be like, osteopenia, how is this even possible?
Well, if you've been listening to the show long enough, I mean, we've been screaming at the top of the mountain for a long time that when we look back at all the clients that we train, almost every single client, even the overweight ones that ate bad, were under eating on the protein part.
Yeah.
And so that was always like the first fix for me, especially my female clients, especially like I don't 100% across the board, always had to boost a feeling. Every once in a while, I might have had like an obese guy that just ate 6,000 calories and he cleared protein, and that might have been an issue, right? But for the most part, every client I had to teach to go after protein. So if you take the typical American that isn't eating optimal protein for a weight training routine, and then you also cut their calories from that position and they don't really change anything else other than just pulling back on the calories, they're going to lose muscle, the little bit they already had. And so they end up in an unhealthier place. And this is why I love Dr. Gabrielle Lyon's argument that, you know, we don't have an obesity problem. We have an under muscle problem.
That's right.
And I think her message is so important.
It is. And now, of course, to be clear, again, I'm going to say this again because someone's going to clip this. And
oh, yeah. No, we'll get roasted for that comment.
You need to eat healthy and you need to exercise. I think Jack LaLanne used to say that diet and exercise was a king and queen. You need to have both to have a kingdom. He's right. You also need to have good sleep and all that other stuff. That's all important. But again, if you have to pick one, if you're listening and you're like, man, I struggle with all this stuff. Where do I start exercise? That's it. Yep. Start exercise. By the way, you know, Justin talked about this. The data shows that when you start one healthy behavior, it encourages others. So if you start eating healthy, you're more likely to exercise. And if you start exercising, you're more likely to eat healthy. But which one is more likely to lead to the other? Exercise.
Yeah.
That's also what the data shows.
Yeah.
The data shows that exercise leads to healthier eating more often than diet leads to exercise. And there's a couple reasons for this.
We saw this with our clients.
There's a couple reasons why this is true. Number one, exercise is easier to do and start. As hard as it is, and people are like, that's hard. It's easier than diet. Trust me, diet's every day, all day. Your emotions are tied to it. It's not just an hour, a couple days a week, or a few days a week. It's like I eat all day long, every single day. This is how I celebrate. This is how I bury my feelings. This is how I deal with stress or whatever. Diet's way harder than exercise. So you're more likely to stay consistent with a good exercise program, which will then lead to better diet, more likely than you would if you start with diet. The second thing is, if you're exercising and strength training, you start to focus on things like getting stronger, which means you got to look at your diet a little bit. You got to do that thing. Now, could you go on a diet and just lose weight on the scale, never exercise? You could. And people, this is one of the reasons why they don't exercise. Like, why do I need to exercise? I'm on a GLP-1. I lost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
I think I'm good. Not realizing that they're losing, 40%, this is what the data shows, of their weight is coming from muscle. And then you want to look at things like insulin sensitivity, which is, very important. This is tied to so many of our metabolic conditions and poor health, if you had to do one thing to improve this, it's not diet. It's actually build muscle. You can actually improve your insulin sensitivity, your blood sugar faster and easier if you just built some muscle than through radical diet changes. So for those reasons, exercise first. And by the way, good trainers know this. A good trainer knows this. Oh, yeah. You don't force diet on your client until they're ready, but they're here working out and they love it. And let's go. Let's get it going. Hey, do you want to get trained by Adam, Justin, and myself for 30 days? Mind Pump's 30 days of coaching. It's 100% free. We give you daily coaching videos, myth busting, training tips, and real-time guidance. It's a full month of coaching. It's totally free. Click the link below, sign up for free, and start day one right now. Let's get healthy.
Do you think that there's also another layer there that, do you believe that as humans, we're inherently rebellious?
Always.
Like, so think about that. Like, the difference between those two is telling someone to go exercise and go do a thing is different than saying you can't have something.
Yeah, good point.
So it's like, that's another reason why I think it's easier to get somebody to adhere to, hey, add this to your already routine. Just go lift a couple times a week and you'll be fine.
Stop doing this thing.
Exactly. Versus, hey, I know you always eat and do these things, but you can't have that anymore. You can't do that anymore. I think there's something with that psychologically is far more difficult for us to do.
Yeah,
especially if it's been ingrained since childhood or most of our lives.
That's a great point. That's how you attack. That's how you attack diet, by the way, too. As a trainer, you figure that out. Instead of telling people stop eating this and that, you go, eat your protein.
Right.
Eat fiber, and then everything else kind of falls into place.
Right. But most people who decide they're going to go on a diet and start exercising, especially if they're by themselves without a good coach, they're going to go, I got to stop doing that thing. I got to stop doing this. I got to stop doing that.
I literally had a conversation this morning with a family member who's a dietitian, and she's a good dietitian. Like she knows her stuff. And we were talking about our family, and we were talking about people that we love with, blood sugar issues. Diabetes is something that kind of runs in my family and all the issues associated with it. And she's like, you got to talk to them about diet. We need to help them do this. And I'm like, listen, let's get them to lift weights a couple days a week. So we had this whole discussion, and she's like, but diet doesn't. I'm like, you're making dietary changes that last are so hard. And then making impactful ones that have measurable changes on blood sugar consistently are actually relatively difficult. I said, but if they just lifted weights a couple days a week, if they gained like 3 pounds of muscle, we would see those numbers change. And it doesn't take that much. And I was giving examples of like my parents. Like my parents, I've been trying to get them to work on their diets forever as an annoying trainer. And recently what I did is I did this about 8 months ago, is I just bought them personal training at the place. I got them a membership at the place I go to. And then I bought them some training because they already go there. And I know my parents would do the training because they're old school. So it's like, I don't want my son to waste his money, right? So they go and do it. And we're getting great results. And I'm also starting to see them make slight changes to their diet through that process. Way more effective. Just took me so long to start to apply it to my own family. Yeah. But again, if this is your question, because what happens to a lot of people trying to improve their health and fitness or lose weight is they look at all the things they need to do, and then it becomes I got to do all this. And yeah, that would be wonderful, but the odds that you'll be able to maintain that consistently are zero, almost zero. Start with one thing. So what's the most effective thing? Go build a little bit of muscle, and the rest starts to take care of itself. It makes the biggest impact on your health, your longevity. There's also this wonderful process of I did something hard for an hour that I got this result from. Does that translate to diet that can also be hard? And what it's harder, but also translate? Absolutely.
Did I tell you guys my story about my buddy Mike, my car buddy that was asking me advice finally about he is like his own little at home, like he's doing like a lot of body weight stuff, and he'd been doing it for like 6 months. We were hitting golf balls, and he was just like, hey man, and he was like, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know it's valuable, and I'll pay you and this and that, but I'm just curious, like, what should I do? This is what I'm doing inside my house, like lifting weights and stuff. And, I want to build a little bit of muscle. And I was like, at this point, he's been training consistently in his house, and he's doing like push-ups and pull-ups, and he's got some light dumbbells. Yeah, some basic stuff. Like he's been consistently exercising now and he's just like, and I feel good. He goes, but I'd like to put on a few pounds of muscle. And I said, I'm going to give you one thing to do, and that's it. I'm not going to tell you to do anything else, diet wise. And I'm not going to pick apart your workout routine, because the fact that you're doing something right now, you're already sending a signal that your body should start to build some muscle. If we just give it the protein, that's it. And like we talked for a long old time. What about this?
Sounds too simple.
Right. Yeah. So this was like I don't know, maybe 2 months ago or whatever. And then we just recently did that trip. I told you, a 3-day trip. And he shows up. I say, hey man, you're looking good. He's like, dude, I've put 9 pounds on. He goes,
just from adding the protein?
Just from that. He goes, I haven't changed anything in my routine.
It's all muscle.
And he looks great. He's a really lean, kind of smaller guy, and just was blown away. And I was explaining to him that I said, man,
the material.
The first part was the hardest part. You've already been in this kind of consistent routine. So I said, and then just doing that, I said, but he said back to me, he goes, man, it's hard. Because I really drilled home to him. I'm not going to tell you anything else. I said, just this alone, it will be hard to be consistent with it. But if you do it consistently, I promise even the routine you're doing will show you the results you want. And sure as shit, he came back. But he's like, man, I really have to prepare my morning breakfast the night before, or else I don't get that first 40, 50 grams of protein. And then I'm behind all day long.
Prep, man.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and that's why if you've listened long enough, that's kind of the two things that we talk so much about is like, just start a routine, go after your protein. That will take care of such a huge percentage for most people.
Just start there.
Just that.
Watch what happens.
Yeah, it just, that alone. And I think that's why, we obviously we get clipped, right? You get and you will get clipped for our comment that, we're picking exercise over diet. Yeah. So some internet troll will break down the studies and tell us how wrong we are. So, but we know that, listen, like you said, it's what you figure out if you've worked with enough people is like, okay, I know what the studies say. I know what the most important things are. I know if I do all these things, I can move the needle the most. But it's like, what can I realistically get this person who is 45, 50 years old and has already proven that they've struggled with consistency around diet and exercise their whole life? Totally. So do I tell them all the best things or this, or do I tell them one or two things
that make the big difference?
That make a big difference that I think that are the easiest for them to adhere to, and then I'll build on top of that foundation.
100%, 100%. Speaking of workouts, so you
oh man,
no. So
are we talking about
why are you glass? Why are you made of glass? I want to hear what's going on here.
I just can't. I can't. And I also
thought about this a lot, by the way.
I know you and I
think I figured it out.
I text you, and I think
you working out with the Niners practice field.
No, dude. The frustrating part right now is when I did my transformation thing last year or the year before, whatever it was, a while back, right? That I did the last time I did this after I came off the GLP-1. I got hurt like 3 times, and I know what I did that time was I'm just feeling strong and lifting. Each time I deadlift, I was stacking on an extra 50 pounds like to catch up. Now I started at like 135, so it's not like it was impressive. You know what I'm saying? But I think I got hurt at like 3.
You scaled.
Yeah, but I scaled so fast, right? And I think what you and I have both distilled it down to or agree that it is, because I've tried to, I'm doing all the supplement. I am like doing everything. And this time I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not even doing 5 reps. I haven't dropped anything lower than 8 to 10 reps, right? So in my eyes, I'm not even lifting that heavy. But I think it's the same thing that I talk about that has been one of the greatest things of getting older and the benefits of having lifted and built so much muscle in the past is it comes back. It's coming back so quick.
That's right, yeah.
And even though it doesn't feel like it's that much weight to me, it's enough that I haven't allowed everything else to catch kind of up.
Yep.
And I'm pulling and straining, all this stuff.
So I was thinking a lot about this because when you started first getting hurt, I'm like, is there a nutrient deficiency? Maybe there's a nutrient deficiency, but you're taking all the supplements.
And I'm in a surplus.
You're healthy, you look healthy. And I was thinking about it, and so muscle memory this is real, it's documented. So people listening, if you built 30 pounds of muscle in your body, which Adam has built more than that, how much muscle would you say you added to your frame at your peak that you wouldn't have otherwise carried?
Oh, I have it tracked. I went from like 160 all the way up to 210 pounds of muscle.
Of just lean
body mass.
So that's 70, what is that, 70 pounds? What is that? Yeah, no, that's 50 pounds, 60 pounds of muscle.
50, yeah.
So that's a lot of lean body mass. Okay, that's a ton.
That was on top of, by the way, like a kid who was working out.
That's right,
like,
already.
So it wasn't like I had 0 and then I went to there. It was like
exactly. So you build 50 pounds of muscle, and then you have something called muscle memory. What that means is if you lose the muscle, let's say you stop working out, you become sedentary, you lose it all. Then you go back and work out, you'll gain it back at a fraction of the rate that it took the first time, like super fast,
way faster,
like super fast,
Yeah.
and we've already seen this. Like the last time you did this with your training, you gained over 20 pounds of muscle in like 40 days or something like that. It was crazy. But that's muscle memory, everybody. It's true. It's real. It's well documented. It's incredible. The problem though is that when you have muscle that sits on your body for a long time, it's controlled, it's seasoned. CNS is working with it very well. And if you look at the data on injuries, injuries spike when athletes dramatically increase their strength and performance in short periods of time. And so because you've had so much muscle, because you haven't worked out consistently for like a year for a long time. You've gone on and off for a while.
Yeah.
And you gain muscle so easily. You lose it and you gain it. You lose it and you gain it. So I think it's that you're just gaining it quickly. And so you're trying to judge it based off your memory, which is like, oh, this is easy. It feels good. Still, it's like, oh, I was pressing the 40s. Now I'm pressing the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's only 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah.
That's a doubling of the weight.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating.
It is. It's frustrating, especially like when I feel the way it's moving. Like it just. I mean, I literally, last week. I don't even know how I did it. It was I did strain something on my forearm, and it was like felt like a little bit of a nagging pain. Still hammer curling right through it, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, the next day, I look at it and it's like bruised and swollen. And I'm like,
crap.
Oh man.
I'm like, shit. Yeah, and then it hurts for me to grab my Tupperware out of the microwave. I'm like, oh, I'm like, okay. So then all of the previous week, I took off. I started to do what you've been talking about. I'm like,
cardio?
Cardio. So I did cardio all the way, and then I had a nice week off, and I'm like, feel great. Come back in the gym, shoulder pressing. Warm it up with and here's the other thing too. And admittedly, I should know better. Like I didn't like really prime. I didn't prime at all. I got in and
did a couple warm up sets.
I did a couple warm up sets. I did some 40s and 50s, and then jumped to 80s. And
plus, your memory of what you do and what it feels like is so based off of when you were like jacked and training all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you judge it?
It's
You got to go super ginger.
I do, and I have to stay there. Like your point is like, not only do I have to do that, but I have to stay there for a while, even though I can tell I can go more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've just after this shoulder one heals, I'm gonna go back to kind of the old chasing pumps and high reps, supersets, really lightweight, and stay away from anything that I think is even remotely heavy, even though I didn't think it was heavy. I haven't done anything really that heavy.
But in the context of what you were doing a month ago, it's twice as much.
And I think it is. It's like it's all like stabilized. So I think in ligament stuff. So I think what it is my ligaments and tendons haven't caught up to the muscles.
They don't build as fast as muscle.
Yeah. So I think what it is what I'm feeling is the muscles feel fine. It's the ligaments, tendons, and to your point, like the how my CNS and my muscle they pick it right back up. And so I'm just going to have to take it super.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of women postpartum. Like really fit, strong women. I'm not calling you a chick.
You know what you remind me of, bro?
A chick. No. You know how like we've all known these really fit, strong women, they get pregnant, then postpartum, they're like, no, I feel like I can do more. And they keep hurting themselves. And it's like, no, like give it a year of doing like the easiest stuff before you jump into it, because your body was so. I mean, that's a dramatic example.
Manopausal.
But I mean, muscle memory is crazy because I literally will watch you. We'll record a podcast on Wednesday, then I'll see you on Monday. And I'm like, this dude gained 7 pounds of muscle.
I know.
Dude.
Well, tonight I get my DEXA, so I'll have numbers to support what I just did. But I can feel it. I can tell that I've put on a good amount of muscle in the last month again. And again, really, I thought going really slow, weight and strength wise, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me because I'm in a surplus, so I'm not cutting, so I'm eating close to 4,000.
Sleep is back to normal.
Sleep is doing great. I have never been 90 days in my life of not missing a supplement. Yeah. I mean, I am taking everything you've given me, and and even when you're like, hey, I'm already taking that. I'm taking it. I'm taking all of it. and yet still having those little issues. And so I just gonna have to lay off.
I'd love to sneak more of those isometrics in your programming though for your
I should.
I'm gonna have you give me some, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I talked to my
Wrote
wife.
a whole guide on it.
And I'm like, she's like, when are you going to start that every other week workout? So of course I'm like, next week. She's like, wow, it sounds like
Never
you're pushing
comes,
it out.
you know?
Yeah.
So she gave me a recommendation I thought was really good that I don't want to do, which means I probably should. She's like, why don't you have other people write up routines for you? And I'm like,
I know,
probably
it's
need that. So I'm going to have you.
Especially for us, it's like,
I'm going to have you,
I'd love to.
write
Yeah,
something
yeah,
up for me
yeah.
because I know you'll give me something I need to do
sure.
because I know what I'll do.
But they'll know what you like too, dude. So I won't totally
whatever,
make
dude.
it crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the other part that I think is really annoying and frustrating is that I know too.
Totally.
It's like, so it's just like when it happens, I think that's part like poor
I knew
Katrina.
it.
You guys would be calming me down with the intensity. Like, immediately I'd be like, lame.
Yeah.
You seem to be made out of steel though. Like you don't hurt yourself. Except for that time you hurt. What did you hurt?
What did
I don't think
hurt?
you ever get hurt.
Just
do you?
kind of like my QL, it strained it.
Oh, you just hurt because you're like old dude.
I just have like achy
You'll be
pains.
Well, I do. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought of Justin right away, especially when it was my shoulder on this one. I was just like, this is what he's really good at. When he falls off, gets back on, he goes to swinging the mace clubs.
He does all the stuff.
Yeah, he does all the rotational.
I adjust right away if I feel any.
Yeah,
pain.
you don't go right back into building like muscle building mode, guy. You go
Right.
back into mobility drills.
He's all movement based.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
movement
we're the
first,
opposite. It's
and
like,
then
oh,
I
we
try
fall
and get in your
off.
guys' area. I know.
I'm like, right back to getting them up. Let me get looking good first, and then I'll address.
Right,
That's
right,
exactly what I
right.
do. Let me make sure I look good first, and then I'll address the other stuff. And it's like so backwards, and I know it's backwards, and it's frustrating.
I was reading some articles. So in today's episode, we're talking. We have Transcriptions in here, which is they have a methylene blue, a product just blue. And I've been reading a lot about methylene blue because it's really remarkable.
I had that over the weekend. It had some rad energy.
It is remarkable. So methylene blue has been around for a long time. It's a natural MAOI inhibitor. So
I didn't know it's been around for a long time.
long time. It was a dye that was used for a long time, and then they noticed it had these
Somebody swallowed it and was like, "Whoa."
these benefits. Yeah,
Are you serious? That's how that went
yeah.
down.
Look up
That's
methylene blue
crazy.
history. Oh, it's been
It
around
really
forever.
is crazy.
And it's used in medicine, by the way, for certain disorders. Like you go to the hospital for I forgot what it was. They'll give you an IV of methylene blue to help you. But anyway, it's an MAOI inhibitor. So the MAO is an enzyme that breaks down neurotransmitters. So when you inhibit it, you increase neurotransmitters. So more serotonin, more dopamine, more norepinephrine. And so you just feel more energy, you feel more awake, you're sharper. That's why they call it like a cognitive enhancement. By the way, it's also important, if you're on an SSRI, do not take an MAOI. Don't take an MAO inhibitor.
Yeah.
Because it's dangerous. Like you're taking something that increases serotonin, then something that prevents it from getting broken down. You can get what's called serotonin syndrome. But by the way, that's how powerful methylene blue is. It's a powerful MAOI or MAO inhibitor. But anyway, I was reading about it, and a lot of the products that are out there are contaminated with heavy metals.
Really?
Yeah, so they've had third-party testing of other, because methylene blue is all popular now. I think there was a video of Robert Kennedy using
he's
he was squirting some of it in his water, and it's easy to see because it's blue.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of people are using it. And I looked up some third-party testing, and there was like heavy metal contamination all over the place.
Oh, man.
So the place we go with Transcriptions, clean, clear, it's good, legit, non-stimulant, but definitely works. Definitely.
Yeah.
And you took it this weekend.
I did. I took it this week. I had to do a lot of manual labor and stuff and fix a bunch of things. And was kind of running a little low energy. Took it, and it totally like a long period of time too. A couple hours of pretty consistent energy. So.
Now it's got tons of cognitive benefits, but do you feel like energy, almost like caffeine energy from it too?
It's not like a stimulant, but
I
you
know,
will
'cause
feel more awake, and I feel faster. What's the right word? I don't know if that's the right word. Like verbally, I'm faster.
Yeah. Yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah.
So is it? There's no central nervous system effect from it.
There is mild because of the increase in the neurotransmitters, but it's not a direct central nervous system stimulant like caffeine is. So I still don't think you should take it before bed, but it's not a direct CNS.
Okay.
So I just don't have the groggy kind of underlying. I don't know. Sometimes during the day, I'll just have that kind of low fatigue.
Now, is it okay for me to take with caffeine if I was drinking?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's fine with that.
A lot of people take it with caffeine.
What should you not take it with?
Any kind of medication that raises serotonin, like an SSRI or another MAO inhibitor. dangerous. It's actually very dangerous.
What would be another? What would be another one of those?
Natural one, I can't think of them, but people are on medication. So remember.
Do they all fall in the antidepressant?
This is not a good commercial, but I'll tell you guys what happened. Remember a while ago when I got freaked out?
Yeah.
Because I took what was it called? Tesofensin.
Oh yeah.
So Tesofensin,
So it
you
raises
get
your
from
serotonin
peptide
levels.
companies, right? Peptide companies. This is when Sal does stupid stuff, and it's a serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine reuptake inhibitor. And so it's actually used for weight loss for some people. They'll take it and they'll eat less, and it also makes you feel better or whatever. Well, I didn't know that you shouldn't combine it with methylene blue. That was scary. That's why I told you guys I started sweating profusely, like uncontrollably sweating. And I knew right away, I was like, I think I'm in serotonin syndrome. Went to the hospital and they're like, you're going to have to wait it out.
You're going to have to ride it out, buddy.
And I was okay. I don't know, anyway. Also, brand new program. Ready? New MAPS program. It's called the Great 8. These are only 8 exercises. If we only had to pick 8 exercises to do to develop the perfect physique that's got balance, strength, muscle, symmetry, it's going to be these 8. Here's what this program is. It's super simple, super effective. It's 1 lift a day. That's it. 1 lift a day. It's an 8-day split. It's definitely going to be one of our most popular programs, and it's 50% off right now. Go check it out. Go to mapsgreat8.com. So that's mapsgreat8.com. Use the code LAUNCH. That gets you 50% off. It also includes a Great 8 nutrition guide. It also includes, if you get in before the 22nd, 5 days of free coaching with one of our trainers, Cole. So one more time, mapsgreat8.com. The code is LAUNCH. Go check it out. Back to the show. I gotta tell you guys a funny story, dude, about all my kids were mad at me. All of them.
Why?
Pissed off. My little one, my daughter, you're so mean. I hate you. Everybody was pissed off at me. So in my garage, I noticed signs of a mouse. So he's nibbling on like our paper towels. He was doing all kinds of things, right?
Poop droppings everywhere.
And then I came in one day, turned the light on, and I seen him running by. So I'm like, oh, you're in my house, dude. Like, I'm gonna have to kill you. And I love catching mice. I don't know about you guys, but I
like catching live, or like you mean like
trapping them.
Okay,
Yeah, trapping them.
I have fun shooting them.
There's something about it. It's like I feel invaded. Don't carry disease. Don't be in my house. So anyway, but it's in the garage. So I set up mouse traps, like the ones that snap.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this little mouse somehow got the food off 3 traps, and they went off, and he wasn't there. So I'm like, this is war. So I'm like strategizing. Maybe with the sticky ones. The sticky ones always catch them. So we come home one day in the garage. I got my daughter. I got my niece. I got my 2 little ones. Okay, my 5-year-old, my 3-year-old, my 16-year-old, my 18-year-old niece. We turn the light on in the garage, and the mouse is just sitting right there by the stairs. And my daughter's like, oh my God, my 16-year-old. He's so cute because he's tiny. He's so cute. Look how cute he is. I'll show you guys a video. So I'm like, I grabbed I'm like, is there something to like smash it? I didn't have a shovel, so I'm like, let me get a broom. So I walk over to him, and everybody's like, he's so cute. Let's keep him. Come on.
Let's keep him.
So I take the broom. I open the garage is open, and I blasted him. And I didn't hurt him because it's a broom, but I got him outside the garage.
Oh my God! I can't believe you caught him like that.
Everybody was screaming. Don't hit the mouse. My little ones start crying. Ah! My daughter runs in the house. You hurt the mouse. Bro, my wife comes home. Everybody's mad at me.
Yeah.
She's like, why are you guys mad at your dad? He's so mean. He hurt the mouse.
Oh my God, you didn't kill it.
My daughter took a video. Look at this video. I can't believe he did this. I'm like, dude.
What they need to see is a cat eating it head first, just biting it off, and then leaving the entrails for you.
Oh
Right
my
where you work
God.
Do you
out.
still have your work cats? Do you still got those cats?
Yeah. They're savages, dude. And they're on a hunt right now. I think it's because there's this false signal of like spring, so a lot of like flowers are because it's
Bro, the
warmer.
weather is so weird.
It's
right
just
now.
off, right?
Super
And so
warm.
There's all of the moles and the mice and the rats and all that. They're out in force, and so they're starting to bring them in. We had one of them bring, like, it was a mole, I think, and we had the doors open because it's such a nice day. We're letting the breeze in and everything, and the cats came in and had one of those in its mouth and then let it go, and then they're like, playing with it, pawing, like, get this thing out of here. What are you doing? It was freaked me out, man. It's like, dude, I mean, they're kill machines.
Oh, yeah.
They're effective.
Hey, I found Do you remember a while ago we talked about the infamous hammer strength leg machine?
Oh yeah. It's been going viral right now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going viral right now. I see a bunch of people talking
You know what
about
it's
it.
called?
What is
the
it called?
H squat. Doug, look it up. Go hammer strength H squat.
The H squat.
I've seen all
Listen,
kinds.
Dylan, you got to put this in the video. You got to edit this in so people can see what this.
I don't know why wouldn't our clip go viral? We talked all.
It's
Because
because I don't think we put a picture of it. It is a monstrosity, bro. It is huge. It's a towering.
I know.
Is that
You
the
got to
big
climb
tower thing?
stairs.
It's
Doug has got to have some footage of that when we shot in that gym. I know we had him take you had to have taken a picture or video of that squat.
Is it that vertical position?
Doug, did you
This was
find
at your old gym?
Yeah, remember the old one that I trained at when I was in high school where we shot the original maps black and you had to climb up it? Remember
You had to go
climb
upstairs.
Yeah, you had to climb up
If you fell off the top, you would hurt yourself. That's how tall it was. Did you find it, Doug?
I think so.
Yeah, it's
Might
a
be.
huge lever, like squat lever machine.
There's all kinds of viral clips going around it right now.
Is this it here?
No.
Also
no.
doubles as a guillotine. You know,
No,
it's got
if you
attachments
look
to
up
that.
the-
Oh, here it is. Maybe
Oh yeah.
this one
Oh,
here.
there it is. That yellow one right there.
Oh, the yellow one. Okay. Oh my goodness.
What the hell?
You have to climb that row of stairs.
I actually feel like the
so
one that placed
silly.
the older one was even taller.
Apparently, it feels. I've never used one because I was always when I saw it at the gym. I was like, I'm not going
how
up
am I
the
even gonna
stairs.
get
So the
in there?
clips I've been seeing, they're talking about how was the greatest.
That's what
leg
everybody
machine.
says.
Yeah, it says greatest leg machine ever made.
Now I'm all curious. I want
That's
to try. it.
hilarious.
But as a gym owner, like, come on, you're gonna take some.
Remember
so
the one
ridiculous.
that I was in mine too had the chain on it, and it was a chain.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like for sure
that's
lawsuit.
dangerous.
Look at that thing, bro.
What?
Hey, how dangerous is that?
Why?
Too? You just hammered your legs. You gotta go down the stairs now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
like a
gonna roll
new
out
version.
of it.
That's a new version of it right there.
Yeah. But you can see the lever. So at the bottom is the weight. So when you push the platform, it's the bottom that lifts. So it's like this crazy lever squat.
Weird.
Yeah, dude.
I know. I wonder what the physics are on it that makes it so great in comparison to like any traditional hack squat.
Because of the platform goes down, it goes from leg press to squat almost. You get this really full range of motion. I was watching it on Instagram. So I've never used it. Like I said, every time I saw it, I'm like, I'm not climbing the stairs.
Because the one that
I
you
wouldn't
used to
even
work at
attempt to use
the old Golds or whatever that's off or American Barbell, whichever one I forget what it is, off of Monterey. It has the one where you lay upside down.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it comes.
That's the old school leg press.
yeah.
If you miss that, you're dead.
Yeah, this is gonna crush you
No thanks.
in your dreams and everything.
Hey, speaking of Instagram and social media, and you brought this up too, Justin. You said your boys were starting to watch.
Oh yes.
There's this new category of fitness influencers that are like these steroid influencers that are getting popular with kids. Have you watched some of their stuff?
So I haven't. Yeah, I've been meaning to like really sit down and watch. I've heard a lot from like especially my oldest because he's. I think it's like TikTok where they're popular, but he says they're funny and it's
trend
he knows
twins?
it's ridiculous, but at the same time I'm like, this is probably horrific information. Like I need to get in there and like dissect it all.
So what they do because I clicked on one, clicked on another one. So now my algorithm is starting to pick up on them, and I'll click on them now because I'm like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
So it's either A, dudes who lift who talk about steroids, or B, it's these like fitness personalities who are like experts on that's how they post as experts. And they'll post like before and afters, and here's my clients, and here's what I recommend.
All they do is talk about steroids.
So they'll literally talk about the cycles that they're putting their clients on.
Wow.
They'll show before and afters. Here's what the doses are. You guys, the information is crazy.
How is that like?
Bro, I am
legal?
watching these guys say things like, like there was this one guy that's like 1,000 milligrams of testosterone a week is a crazy high dose. Then this guy gets on, it's not a crazy high dose. This is what I have my clients do regularly. You're not going to see anything over 500 milligrams. I'm like, what?
How is this
What?
not regulated, dude? That's
What?
crazy.
1,000 milligrams is not a lot?
That's nuts.
That's 10 times
insane.
what they would typically give
Do
you.
you think part of this is because? And I remember when I was in my early 20s and I messed with steroids and you think you need more of it, but really what it is, you just don't have the muscle maturity, and the amount of steroids you add don't make that big of a difference, and all you do is increase more and more risk.
Or you don't have the diet or the training.
Well, yeah, exactly. Those things just were not there. It took years of
Bro, the doses that because you're open about it, it's not like you hide it. What you took to become a pro physique competitor was like half of the way you messed around.
Oh
in your
yeah.
20s.
Oh yeah, less than
Not
half.
even.
Wow, I took way more when I was a kid. Way more because of that same reason. Took a little bit, and it's like, oh yeah, I feel a little bit, but I thought that I've only put on like 5 pounds, or you know what I'm saying? Must need more of it, and then must need more, and then and of course I'm taking advice from these big bodybuilder guys that are like, oh yeah, a gram's not that much. You know what I'm saying? Telling you that's not that much. And all these guys are all doing it, thinking it's okay, and it's like,
Bro, you should see what they're recommending. They're having this. There's this one guy, and he sounds smart. He sounds like a smart dude. I would have got fooled if I was 19, for sure, because he sounds like a smart guy.
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. He's having his clients take. They're taking this much testosterone, this much masteron. This is an anabolic steroid. Then he's adding a little bit of this Anavar, and then he's taking this much growth hormone. Like, what?
Oh my God.
You're going hard.
are they young clients or older clients?
They're in their 20s.
Oh wow, yeah,
20s and 30s.
wow. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what you talked about the trend twins, which are kind
the
of funny.
trend twins was
But that's these little dudes are real short, but kind of little meaty guys, and they just talk about how much steroids they
Gear
take,
they're
and they
on
work
every
out
day.
and they yell at each
Well,
other.
you know what's so dangerous,
and they are funny, but it's like, come on.
You know what's so dangerous now too is that the best advice doesn't surface to the top. It's the most shocking. Or
Yes, that's what goes viral.
That's what goes viral. So somebody
it's
like
the freak show.
yeah, like somebody who's talking about a very conservative this and boring science and this, you know, what I'm saying, like that's not going to go anywhere. It's like
It's always going to be just Liver King and all that shit.
yeah, no, it is.
That's the only thing that's going to be popular in these social media things.
And you think that our kid or your guys, because your kids are kind of in it right now, you know, do you think by your younger kid or your younger kids, my kid, when they get older, will be more privy to that?
I hope.
Like that these algorithms feed these people to the top because it's a wow factor more than it is it's good. Right?
Well, at least he knows it's ridiculous, and he has conversations with me about it. But it's like he's still drawn to it because it's entertaining.
Yeah,
and they're freaks. Like, so I think it's somewhat human nature. It's like you're drawn to these,
of course, it is.
oddballs. You know, and
it's like the circus back in the days.
You
right?
know,
Totally.
what's wild to me just on this topic? Just hopefully some kid is listening, so I could get through to you a little bit. Because of Mind Pump, because of the podcast, we started getting popular. I had the opportunity to sit down with some of my old bodybuilding heroes. Like guys that were like back in the 90s that were crushing. I got to talk to them off air, and they were very candid about everything that happened. I thought it was all about like, oh, this guy got that big because he did way more drugs than everybody
he
else.
just did a lot. Yeah.
And he'd tell me, he's like, no, dude. He's like, I'm telling you the truth. Like this is, now I know some guys lie, I get that. But I believe them because genetics are crazy.
It's a lot.
And you have
of the
genetics,
factor.
how you respond to food. I remember when Ben Pekulski just crushed my paradigm because I talked to him and I said, God, pro bodybuilders have the best digestion. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, you guys are able to eat 10,000 calories a day and get big. He goes, what? He goes, no, pro bodybuilders can get big on low calories. That's what makes them pros. And I'm like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I remember as a kid, I could eat 7,000
How can you
calories.
sustain that? I know.
Dude.
Yeah, it made a lot more sense.
Totally different. Totally different. Anyway, speaking of crazy, of not science, did you guys see the viral study on transgender athletes?
Oh yeah, they're trying to say.
I didn't read it. I know it was promoted on I Love Science, but I couldn't. Like, what was? Give me the cliff notes.
It's terrible.
We're trying to make the case that there's no advantage.
Well,
I'll read to you.
Already, I got questions.
I'll read to you guys like one of the headline type thing. By the way, just some hope. You read the comments, nobody believes it.
Yeah,
nobody believes it. Everybody underneath is like, okay, like yeah, roll my eyes.
Sounds like a total.
So here's what it says. Landmark study finds no fitness advantage for trans athletes in women's sports. So a landmark study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine has found that transgender women who undergo hormone therapy might not have a fitness advantage in women's sports. The research, which analyzed data from over 6,400 participants, concluded that after transitioning, trans women show no significant difference in strength, endurance, or oxygen consumption compared to cisgender women, or as I like to call them, women. The findings challenge assumptions about trans women's athletic advantage. The researchers noted the need for further studies. Okay, so here's what you have here. When you have men and women, when you go more to the extremes of athletic performance, so if I start to move out here with strength, stamina, endurance, bone density, that kind of stuff, there's more men on that extreme, and there's more women on the extreme over here where they're weaker, less strength, less stamina, but there's a crossover in the middle. In other words, if you gave me the average dude and had him lift weights with the strongest female power lifter, she's going to crush him. She's just going to crush him. We know this. You give me an average dude and have him fight the top female MMA athlete that weighs about the same, she'll kick the crap out of him. Okay, that's just okay. So there's some crossover, but it's the extremes where things get wonky. So when you're competing for first place, and you were a man for most of your life, you have a major advantage, and that's the data clearly shows. And this is an example of how they used data to twist and mold outcomes to communicate crap.
So
it's completely
based off of what
twisted
you're
data.
saying, then the 64 participants they used,
64,000
or 64,000 participants,
or 6,400.
It was 6,400. The 6,400 participants had to be like these average athletes. Is what you're saying.
People who just like, oh, I'm going to go get fitness tests, I'm going to go whatever. But if you look at like competitive sports, what you'll see is an advantage, and that's really what matters. Like, I don't care about pickup basketball. Like, I don't think anybody cares.
Rec league.
that transgender athletes are showing up at the rec league.
No, who cares?
Whatever, fine. We're gonna go play. We're gonna go swim in the pool. Whatever. But high school, especially college, especially professional sports. Come on.
Where scholarships are on the line
dude.
and records are on the line. It's like
It's funny that it's funny that we need a study
You
to
have
try
integrity.
and prove that if you've watched some of these, it's like
there's
very
clear physiological advantages.
clear.
It's gaslighting otherwise.
It's clear. It's like the MMA transgender that was just pounding
Beating the crap.
just not even it's not even close, dude.
No, because I've had conversations with friends about this, and they're like, "Well, I know a woman that could out squat you." To me, I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you're talking about the strongest woman in the world, and I'm just a dude that lifts weights."
So now let me go find the strongest on the other end.
But
and
show
then
me
we'll
the
see.
strongest man in the world and compared to the strongest woman in the
Exactly.
world, and there's a massive difference.
Huge gap.
There's a massive difference. So you can't look at the averages because there's crossover and everything with men and women, but it's the extremes where you start to see the gender differences.
Yeah.
And so and they really did a good job of twisting, and it's like going viral. I hear people now, but again, some hope. The comments were like, nobody was buying it, dude. Everybody in the comments was like, cool. Like,
Well, since we're touching the third
from
rail,
the people that brought you fluoride in your water.
since you're touching the third rail already, why don't might as well? I'm so curious right now. Your thoughts on what's going on with these Epstein files and the stuff that we're seeing. Well, I have two things that I want to ask. Like, one, it's crazy to me that stuff like the pandemic that has come out, and it's pretty clear that this was completely planned, that I watched families get divided over. How are we not in just an uproar of like somebody has to hang for this? I mean, people got killed over this. Families are still divided over this thing. It was probably, if you grew up in the last 15 years, it was the most tragic thing you've probably been through. And we're not in an upheaval. And then the other two part to this question I
don't have to answer to it because they were protected. So yeah, and there's certain individuals that led this whole thing that are protected, and they were from the very beginning. And so yeah, it's frustrating.
So someone DM me that, like, how they're like, I feel like you guys are skirting around this conversation. And I'll tell you what, and this leads to the second question, so hang in there. What I said to them, that I don't feel like we're skirting around it. I think we're just cautiously waiting to see what's going to happen, because there's the other part of me that goes, why are we just now getting this, and this is the information we're getting, and how much do we not know?
Yeah.
And is it really about this? And there's really more that meets the eye. Like what? Like these are the questions I have. This is why I'm not, because I there's a part of me that thinks
it's hard
too
to disseminate
that what we're seeing here are a bunch of scapegoats, that were intentionally being used as scapegoats, so that the real people in power and control that will keep it moving. And is so, like, I'm not on any team right now. And I heard you guys say before we started podcast, I hadn't heard it before, that there's the new saying is the clear pill.
Yeah.
Right. So there's the blue pill, the red pill,
now
and
it's like
clear pill.
Because like both pills are crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The world is a stage. That's the clear pill.
And I just caution anybody else that were friends of ours and content creators to, like, it's real easy to want to jump on a side on this stuff.
Well, there's two parts that, because same thing, dude. I see it and I'm like, oh my God. Like, first off, this confirms the big leak of the Podesta emails from back then. And if you've never read them, please don't. It'll disturb you.
Bum you out forever.
This is a huge email leak that was put on, what's that site? WikiLeaks.
Yep.
So it all it's all like, you see it and you're like, oh my God, it's true. It's all real. So I think part of it is who's going to go after all the people in the emails when everybody's implicated?
Yep. Yeah.
Which side is going to arrest the other side when both sides?
I know.
Or all the sides. You have the top billionaires, top scientists, political leaders from both sides, other countries cooperating with
everything integrated.
Yeah, like religious leaders. You see the Dalai Lama visited Epstein?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, who's going to make the move when everybody's in on it? And then two, if everybody's in on it, why are they releasing it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the part I'm like.
And I think I sent you a video. My wife sent me this morning, and she's like, I think this may be true, accurate. I think, because it's clear when you read the emails that they play a game of psychological warfare on the public to manipulate us. This is what they did with COVID. It's what they do with the world wars, just to get us to freak out and to manipulate us and act in a particular way.
That's how they overthrow governments
It's
elsewhere.
just another part of this of the psychological warfare. So why would they put this out now to freak us all out about everything? I don't know. One theory is because they're preparing to get everybody to be up in arms against the powers that be. So we got to overthrow everybody and get this new government, this new world order or whatever.
Right, there'll be a vacuum.
Yeah, so I don't know. Because it's true. It's like, wait a minute. If everybody's in on it, if all the powerful people are in, how the hell did this get released?
Yeah.
Why? Because the people are like, release the Epstein files? They wouldn't give it. They don't care.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, and also, this is all just from the FBI's collections, not even from the CIA. Yeah. It goes really, really far.
Yeah, dude. And supposedly the FBI, the CIA, other intelligence agencies were using Epstein Island for blackmail. So why are they releasing it now? I think it's true. I think they're trying to still mess with us psychologically, and they're going to come out with something else.
It's really interesting, and I love the.
So it's like we got to be.
I love the clear pill thing because I told you I have these personal threads of like family and friends that. And that, like, I have like a liberal thread and a conservative thread. So, and probably really good for me that I have both, right? Because I've seen it. And I remember during the pandemic, like, man, really struggling to connect and to see eye to eye with my liberal side of my family and friends. And I'm like, man, they've drank the Kool-Aid all the way, right? But now I see it on my right side.
Yep.
That are just
like Trump's in the emails a bunch of times.
Yeah, so pro the other side and like celebrate. And I'm like, whoa, dude. I'm like, you guys should pump your brakes a little bit.
Bush
Interesting how you
families
can
in
just
there.
ignore information, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's not like something you want to promote.
It just shows you how easily everybody is fed by their own algorithms, and they do such a good job on both sides, like convincing you that you're right. Your team is this is all the science, all the information, all the stuff to support your argument. And so to kind of be like somebody who doesn't really identify as one side or the other.
It's all wrestling to me.
Yeah, it's
you literally have your heel, you have your
pro wrestling. Yes,
pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It's everybody has their part that they're playing and they're projecting, and you know
why that's such a good example, Justin. I actually was just watching the Netflix series on that right now too. Katrina and I, that's like some of our background TV.
And by the way, even when people know it's fake,
well, that's so that the point
Yeah,
I make.
they
You
still
guys know
feed
that
into it.
more
Exactly.
people watch the SummerSlam and the WWE than Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Like
now
that's how popular.
Wow.
and we all know it's fake.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like, think about that for a second.
And then real excited. Like, fandom
we at least believe football is real,
fervorous.
although there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
We used to believe football.
Some
is,
people think it's all scripted too, but
and I know why now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, it's everything is. You know what I'm saying? It's just
meddled a little bit with, but
so you see the amount of people that get behind characters when they all know it's like, but it's like, that's such a great example of even how we navigate through the real world and politics and everything that's going on. It's just like we buy so hard into our team and our guy without
we
everything.
get fed a narrative. That's all we have to go off of.
The question is, like, because I hear people like, what do we do?
Yeah.
What do we do? Well, here's what you do: you stay calm.
Yeah.
When the you know what hits the fan.
Yeah.
Just stay calm, because it's going to hit the fan, and you're going to want to like grab your pitchfork and you be ready for whatever. Just stay calm, because it's obvious that they like us to be afraid and to be angry.
The advice we gave last podcast, where we lightly
Help out
mentioned
your own
this,
community.
is exactly
Focus on people around you.
Focus on your family, your neighbor, your closest friends, and like don't get caught up in everything
And
outside.
when you hear trumpets in the sky, you know what's happening.
Dude,
Yeah, just stick with what you have influence and control over, and I think that we've all been pulled out of that.
But
that's where the problems all arise.
point of me bringing that up is because I don't know you guys, I've gotten several DMs from people that have heard us like talk about certain characters or people, and they're like they want to hear us like, why aren't you saying more about this person? I'm like, man, you guys are so easily manipulated
Point
by
your finger. Me.
Yeah, like I ain't on any of their teams.
No.
I'm not on any of their teams.
No.
Yeah. None of their teams, dude. Don't just because I have certain values that might align with somebody's team, that doesn't mean
I had
that
a
I'm
client.
I know. Everybody wants that gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, like, nah.
What's that quote? Like, none are more hopelessly enslaved than those who believe they're free. I think that's so true. So true.
Yeah.
I had a client once tell me great advice. This is when I was getting into like understanding politics for the first time, and I was getting all whatever. And he's like, "Would you let him babysit your kids?" I'm like, well, "No." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Yeah." So stop trusting him so much.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, you're right.
It's a good
that's
gauge.
That's my litmus test. Would I let them babysit my kids? Nah. I probably
Yeah,
don't
I'm
trust
probably
them.
not going to listen to everything.
well,
you have
even
to
too,
say.
like we said before, like anybody who wants that kind of power that bad is like,
Shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have
They're,
it.
they're vermin.
the type of character it takes to do that.
Imagine climbing the ladder to try to be president. What you got to do, the hands you got to shake.
Well,
and the
now
things
we
you
know.
gotta-
Yeah.
That's
You know,
worse than we thought.
we
You
see
know when
these
it was
rituals
really
that
eye opening for me? I don't
yeah,
remember how
they're
old
part
I
of-
was when I realized how little they get paid. Well, that was enough for me because
And
I
they
always
come
thought like, oh, it's a super high paid
Maybe
job.
$400,000 a year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, so okay, wait, let me get this right. So a lot of these really
Go get a job at Google. You'll
And
make
then
more.
questioning that, you'll get sued, right?
Yeah.
Like you see what happened with Sean Ryan, where
he's been taking all kinds of heat.
yeah, well, he just like starts kind of looking at some senators and some people. I'm not
Bro.
going to mention it so we don't get sued. But
They get in. They make how much does a center make? $250,000 a year.
and then you look
They serve for 5 years. They come out and they're worth $100 million.
$90 million.
How?
Like, excuse me.
How did you? You definitely didn't earn
What's
that.
the other business? And it's just investments. Is that what we're talking
You see
about?
people get in trouble for following their trades. That's my favorite. There was a page on X that was like copying Pelosi's trades and whatever.
Oh, they got in trouble for that?
Yeah, dude. Now other people have popped up and they fought for it because you follow their trades, you'll crush the market.
Dude.
How do they know?
And
Well,
to
hey-
think that you're taking money from other like countries and you don't think that's going to have influence on like our own country is hilarious. to me.
How skeptical are you guys now of Bitcoin now that it came out that Epstein was part of funding all that stuff?
Like
too?
60% of the people there he was giving money to.
Wow.
They Bitcoin
I
That's
saw
why.
a tank. Yeah.
That's why. Because we this whole time it was supposed to be like a thing to free us, and if it's tied to that dude, that's the complete opposite.
Nobody wants to hold on to that.
Yeah, I'm like, is it still dropping? Where's it at now, Doug?
It's at 70,000.
Oh,
it went up a little
It
bit.
rebounded a little bit. Yeah,
It was at 100 something.
Okay.
And then went down to like 60
Interesting.
or
Yeah,
something like that,
yeah.
which was depressing.
Mainly just because I bet you because you know that they did this. It's not a law. It's a tax exempt thing. Did you see this, Doug? So let's say you bought at 100 Bitcoin and you lose. Okay, down to 50. Say it dropped all the way down to 60, which it dropped down
Can you
to.
write off the losses?
You could write off the losses against capital gains.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people that bought at 100, sold at 60,
Just to
took the
save.
40,000, and then they can write that 40,000 against other capital gains. So if you flipped a house or made money,
Oh, wow.
and then you rebuy right back into the market. So did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know
You
that.
can do that with stocks, right? You could write off your losses, right, Doug?
Yeah, I believe you can. Yeah.
Against capital gains.
Against capital gains.
Doug,
Yeah.
are you taking the RHO creatine? Is that what that is?
Yeah,
Have you been taking it?
I have been.
What do you think?
I mean, it's great. You just squirt it in your mouth and you're done.
Yeah. So their glutathione and NAD. That's the one.
That's
you
what
use.
I use every day.
So for people who are unfamiliar, it's a company that makes supplements that are all liposomal, which means they're encased in a liposome, which is a fat, to
fat's
encourage
soluble.
to get it to be absorbed and used. So I'll use glutathione as an example. If you look up glutathione supplementation, if it's not liposomal, you might as well just take your money and burn it. You just don't absorb it. If it's liposomal, it will raise your blood levels. Of
We've
glutathione.
had other partners that do this. I like the fact that it's in a bottle that I could just squeeze.
And it tastes all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
Because we had the other one, it was like, oof.
Well, not only was it gross, but it's also the effort to tear the package and do the whole thing. So it's like this thing, I just pop the lid and then take it, and I've been super consistent with it. So,
but that's the thing is their delivery system, which they do a good job. They have a following that is fervent. As soon as we started talking about it, we had people come on and were like, "I've been using it for years." So
I didn't know that. I didn't know how big and popular they were before. When they first started sending stuff to us, that was the first time I had heard of them. But they're big. Yeah, they're real big.
ButcherBox is a company that delivers grass-fed meat, heritage pork, wild-caught fish, and more to your door. You want healthy protein, you want healthy meat, you want it at good prices. That's ButcherBox. By the way, we've put together with ButcherBox a Mind Pump box, okay? Here's what's in it. Ribeyes, chicken thighs, steak tips, ribs, chicken nuggets, these are gluten-free, and flat iron steak. These are our favorite cuts, so you can literally click on the Mind Pump box, and that's what gets delivered to your door. And by the way, if you go to butcherbox.com/Mind Pump, new users are also going to get their choice of organic ground beef, chicken breast, or ground turkey included for free in their box for an entire year. You got to go check them out.
Our first caller is Karen from the UK.
Hi, Karen.
How you doing, Karen?
Hello.
Hi guys, thanks ever so much. I'm in a bit of a shock really, I can't believe this. So thank you so much for having me on. I just want to say a big thank you to you actually. Thanks for listening to me today, and also I've been listening to you guys for over a year now and you really have helped me so much move on from a bit of a dodgy place I was in. So, and also thanks for the tip about the pots and pans from our place, because my husband and I bought a set with our Christmas money and they're brilliant, so thanks.
Aren't they great?
Yeah.
Nice one. Yeah. Right, I'll just read out my email. It's probably going to be the easiest way to do it. So apologise for the essay. Right. Okay, so I've been following you guys for about a year. And it's around about last year that I had a chat with Margaret, and she advised me to go and do anabolic, which I've run twice. Then I had a chat with Kyle, who then advised me to run Symmetry and then do Muscle Mummy. So I've done both of those as well. And I also did join the Muscle Mummy movement for a bit, and had a great chat with Corinne, who helped me a lot, and advised me that I needed to sort of move my calories up, because originally last year I was in 1700 and I'd moved up to 2000. She advised me to reverse diet up to 2.4, which I did. Very scarily, but I did it. I also had a chat with Marcello as well. Yeah, right. He then pushed me up to 2.6 and advised me to do that while I was doing Muscle Mummy, and then said also about then moving on to Max Strong, because I said that I wanted to build muscle but lose about 5% body fat at that point. So I haven't run that one yet, because I started on Max 15. Because I was like, I want to give that a go. So that's where I'm at the moment with that. I have, so at the moment, I have actually, I'm getting all like, dropped my calories back down recently, because where my job is so active normally, in January it gets very quiet, and I had a bit of a panic about my activity level. So I was at 2.6, and then I got to January, panicked about it, and dropped down to 2.2 because I was really worried about gaining body fat. I have two jobs. I am mainly a singer, but I also trained to be a nutrition coach a few years ago off the back of my history. And I've been trying to help people ever since get out of the ruts like I got myself in for many years. Okay, so at the moment I'm on 2,200 calories, 140 grams of protein, about 75 grams of fat, and the rest is made up with carbs, stroke fibre, and the majority of my diet is whole foods. I hardly drink. I've really made an effort with all of that. I'm on 10 milligrams of creatine a day. I upped it because obviously I listen to you guys every day. And I'm also on omega-3s, D3 plus K2. My scale weight when I started last year was 57.1 kilos. I hope kilos is all right. I know you guys work in pounds, don't you? And my skeletal muscle mass was about 22.9, and my body fat percentage about 26.6. Now, as of yesterday, I'm at 60 kilos. Muscle mass is about 23.6, so that's good. But my body fat percentage is 28.3. It's gone a bit up and down over this whole course, but that's where I'm sat at about the moment. I'm on HRT. I'm on estrogen and progesterone. I was on testosterone for libido issues. I stopped it a few months back because when I started lifting heavy, thanks to listening to you guys, started to notice a natural increase of my testosterone. So I decided to come off of it because I was having a bit of an issue with excessive hair growth in the upper thigh area, and I wasn't keen on that. So I thought I'd give it a go off it to see how I fared. And my libido's been all right, actually. I've felt pretty good, but I don't know if that's affected me at all. My positives throughout all of this is my strength increase has been quite significant. Deadlift has probably gone up about 20 kilos, squat 10 kilos, and my bench 10 to 15. Corinne gave me some sort of goals to work to, which I'm getting close to, which is good. Generally, my sleep, I track it a lot now. 7 hours. If I work a lot of late nights. 6.5, but I try to make it up on other nights if I'm not working. My perimenopausal symptoms, I was getting quite bad dips. They've improved a lot, and to be honest with you, my major thing is, and I haven't got to that yet, is that I've got a 20-year history with bulimia and body dysmorphia, and I've seen numerous counsellors. I've been into day centres and everything. So I'm not binging and purging anymore since I increased calories. So that's a major bonus. I'm stuck in a rut now. I don't feel like I've got the body I really want. I did send you the photographs. I just feel like I've got bigger. I gained some muscle. I just feel like my fat's got a lot higher. I don't like what I see in the mirror. My dresses have all got tight. I have to stand on stage in front of people. It's making me lose a bit of confidence. I had some lady come up, poke me in the belly, told me I put on weight, knocked me back. I did bawl my eyes out over that, I have to be honest, but I didn't. I woke up the next day and thought, don't let it stop me from what I'm trying to do. I've got so far, I can't go back on this now. So I just kept with it. That was in November last year. I'm 47. I'm a mother of 2 boys. I've worked with a coach previously. This is 21, 22, and she reverse dieted me from 15 to 2-1 in calories. I got leaner at that point, so that's what led me on to training to be a nutrition coach myself. I wanted to help people get out of their own head over this and try and feel better about themselves. So I really have tried to do something positive off the back of it and generally help people to feel better about themselves. So I'm also doing that as a sideline as well. I just seem to be able to help people better than I can help myself, but I am dealing with a lot of reverse diet clients and they all hate me for it because they're having to trust me, but I just feel like I can't trust myself. So I'm a bit stuck. I just would appreciate your guidance on where I'm supposed to go with this. Should I keep with this reduced calories? Should I go on a different program? I think I've covered most of the stuff anyway, so over to you guys.
You're doing so good.
Yeah.
Karen,
You're doing so good.
so many wins.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you're doing so good.
You got to recognize all those.
So many wins.
Yeah.
So many wins. Strength
Yeah.
is up. You're not purging.
I know.
You're aware of the
Your
challenge.
calories are at the highest they've been probably in years or ever.
Your pictures look
Yeah.
amazing.
You look great. You're doing great.
You're feeling better.
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
The enemy,
Yeah.
the battle is in your mind.
Yeah.
The battle is all in your mind.
Yeah.
And you've dealt with this for 20 years. It's going to take some time,
Yeah.
hon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's going
Yeah.
to keep coming after you. And I think you're moving in the right direction. It's going to be difficult. Some of the things that can help you with this is to let go a little bit of the control. And I know that's where it stems from.
Yeah.
So control can look like restricting. It can look like purging. It could also look like counting macros and weighing myself and testing my body fat and analyzing my workouts. It can look like all those things. And so the path forward is letting go of control. That's easier said than done. And so you got to let go one piece at a time and then make peace with it and be okay. And I'm really sorry that somebody came up to you and said what they said. But I want to remind you that your value, you're a valuable person. Some random person says to you doesn't matter.
This is my job. This is what people don't come up. They do come up and say, great singing, but the majority of it is, why have you changed your hair? Why do you look like that? Why have you done, why don't you wear that dress? And it's just, I'm very good at faking stuff. I'm really great at that. I've got this mask on, but it's hard. It slips,
It's hard to put yourself,
on stage.
Center.
To put yourself on stage like that especially when you're challenged with this is extremely difficult. So, also keep in mind this: so when we're reverse dieting and we're building muscle and we're building metabolism, it doesn't work in this like perfect linear, like just leaning out and just speeding up the metabolism. So what'll happen sometimes is, because the fact, by the way, too, I'm not only am I impressed with you, I'm very impressed with our team. The fact that you talked to 6 different people and they were all giving you great advice.
Love you guys.
I know, all different. They were all different and they were all giving you the right advice along the way, which is so awesome. That makes me feel really happy about my team, that they're just all on the same page. So, because to bounce around to that many people and everybody giving you the right advice from everything from programming to reverse dieting to the goals that Corinne gave you, I think is phenomenal. And I even think staying up at that 2,600 calorie would have served you, and just hanging out there. Just like give yourself time to acclimate to that new calorie intake, build some strength. After you build that strength, then that metabolism starts to speed up, and then you see the lean out process. It doesn't always happen like what you saw from the 1,700 to 2,100 calories. Sometimes that was, you were just so malnutrition that you started to get calories. Your body responded with lots of muscle, built a bunch of muscle, and then all of a sudden you got leaner. And so it's like, whoa, I increased calories, I got leaner. It doesn't always happen that way forever. You'll keep increasing calories, and then what it will look like sometimes is you'll get to a new number like 2,600, and you put on a little bit of muscle, you put on a little bit of body fat, but then you kind of level out, and then you're like, I don't feel better yet, but give it some time. Keep getting stronger, keep working in the training, and then all of a sudden you build a little more muscle, and then all of a sudden the metabolism kicks up, and then all of a sudden you lean out. And so it's not always like this perfect. So you were doing all the right things. I think you got it in your head with even with your activity reducing, I still would have kept your calories up there. I would have really.
Oh, really?
Yes,
really?
yes.
Do you know, I was starting to see the changes. I got to the end. I love the last phase of Muscle Mummy, the 5x5, you know, and I got to that stage. I was starting to see some, and then I hit, I mean, Christmas is crazy for me work-wise. I hit January. And then it started to shift back a bit, and I was like, "Oh no!" And that's when I panicked.
You were in the right place. You really were, and this is where the coach part helps, to have someone in your ear. Because obviously, if I was talking to you on a more regular basis, I would have been like, "Karen, you're good. Don't worry. I'm not worried about your steps coming way down and your activity coming down, because we're lifting right, we're feeding the body right, and don't worry, that metabolism is going to come up, and then you're going to see yourself lean out. Just stay the course." So I actually think you've done really good. And honestly, you cutting back down in the calories, what might have happened was you might have pared down a little bit of muscle, and that's why you saw the body fat percentage go the direction you didn't like it. Yet you were actually on the right track. You were actually doing
I think you're right. I think that's what's happened here. I mean, I wish I just stuck with it. I was going to start strong, you see, and then I don't know why. I went off, and that's why I went to max 15. I don't know why.
Fine. Max 15 is fine too. Strong is going to
Is it?
Yeah, they're both going to be great for you.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing too, Karen, and what you're doing right now is you're talking about all of this. Don't what'll make things get worse is if you keep it to yourself. They tend to flourish in the dark. Okay, the insecurities, the negative changes, they grow like mold in the dark. And so keep talking about it. And the second thing is, coaching other people is really helpful.
Yeah.
It's really helpful.
I love that you're doing that.
Because you can can share your story, you can empathize with always empathize with other people better than yourself. And it's going to really help you move in the right direction. Everything you said is a massive success story.
Yeah.
Right. I just I've done it. I did a tell-all. It's basically when I started my business a few years ago, I did a video where I told everybody about my eating disorder, and a lot of people had no clue, because I always seemed like a happy, confident person, and they had no idea. And actually, I got a lot of clients out of it because they trusted me, and they were like, "You weren't what we thought you were," and it was, So I that's what I'm not in it for the money. I really am in it because I want to help people, and actually, I use a lot of the stuff that you talk about is what I preach to them. So I'm very grateful to you guys. I really am. I mean, my husband's fed up with me talking about you all the time, but it's very helpful information. It's really changed my life. So I'm doubting everything at the moment.
Yeah,
you're doing great.
It's a challenge, and let me remind you, as a trainer, what makes you effective is your ability to connect with other people, and that comes from us exposing our own challenges and weaknesses.
Being vulnerable.
When a client looks at you and thinks that you've got it all put together, it's so much harder to coach them. And it's also a lie. I've never met a single trainer in my life that's got it all together. It just doesn't exist.
Karen, when you mentioned that you came off the testosterone. When did you come off the testosterone too? Just curious.
Oh God, this was during Muscle Mummy. So this is like a month, at least a couple of months or so ago. You can adjust the dose.
You can adjust the dose. You can also look at lowering DHT. Sometimes they'll prescribe something else with it, or stay off of it if you feel good. Testosterone and thyroid are the aesthetic hormones, so those are the ones that tend to help.
The reason why this is the reason why I'm bringing it up, and why I was curious about that, because if we reduce calories, we dropped off the testosterone. That right there could result in that muscle loss that you felt.
Yeah, fair point.
So all of a sudden you cut back the calories. Now the body is not getting as much testosterone. The testosterone helps you build muscle. Obviously you need the nutrients to build the muscle. The combination of the two of those could also. So I had this feeling that when you were right around 2,600 calories, you were humming along just right. Then got in your own head a little bit, pulled back the calories, took off the testosterone, then get a body fat test, and you go, oh shit, this is not what I want, when it's like you were actually probably doing really good.
Yeah.
I did change my progesterone as well. I had my Mirena because I wasn't sleeping very well, and I noticed the Mirena, so I had that taken out, and then it pushed the GP out to put me on body identical. You see, so I don't know if that's made a little bit of a difference, but I'm very up on my hormones. You see, I've done courses and stuff in it. So, but my RGPs are a nightmare over here. They're so scared of it all. Yeah, so it's a fight. It's a real fight with it all.
Progesterone is great for anxiety, great for feeling calm, great for sleep. Testosterone is the aesthetic hormone, so is thyroid. So you could always talk to them, say, hey, can I try a lower dose of the testosterone? If you're feeling like you're getting too many of those other side effects. Or if you feel good, stay off. I think the biggest impact is going to be diet, exercise, and lifestyle. And you're doing great. You're doing really good. Those strength gains that you were talking about, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Oh, that's good then. Phew.
You're doing good.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do you think that, because I've got about 3 weeks of 15 left, do I go on to strong? Because I didn't want to do it in less calories.
I love that next.
No, bump your calories and go to strong.
Yep, I love that.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was wondering. So I just want to check that's the right place to go with it. So
can you call us back? I want to talk to you again in a few months.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Now you've got me.
That's right. We're going to stay on top of you. Stay with it.
Yeah.
You're doing good.
I'd appreciate that. That's really kind. Thank you so much, guys. It really made my day.
All right, Karen.
Thank you. Take care,
Yeah.
Bye.
See you later.
Boy,
she's a sweetheart.
What a success story. But I just feel that in my heart, that's a challenge and that struggle. And then that person who went up to her and made that one comment, which for someone like her, is just so crushing.
Well, I mean, talk about I feel like a lot of people battle with some sort of body dysmorphia, but to battle with that and then also be the type of person who puts yourself on stage where others are going to look at you and constantly judge you.
Absolutely.
I mean, talk about a really tough place to be. Yeah, because she can't win. She gets lean and muscular. She's going to get negative comments. She gets, changes, like she said, change her hair color. She's going to get no matter what, you get judged in comments. And so
anytime you're on stage, it's like that.
And you also got to remember, just for people who do this, like the love you get from or hate that you get from your fans, it's not real. Yeah. It's really not. It's not the same as somebody who actually knows you. So.
I really think she was doing really good,
crushing.
And I think that
you're a great comment. Our team was really.
I know. I was I was a little nervous because she's like, I got from her, Kyle, Corinne. She literally talked to 5 or 6 of our trainers, but everybody gave
good advice.
Great advice. That is difficult to do, by the way. Okay, that's
you find 3 trainers in the same.
I mean, you get even the 3 of us. If we get the one person,
we'll have a little bit different,
right? Exactly. To stay in line. That's kind of tough, you know what I'm saying? So that's awesome that everybody was right on the right direction for her.
Our next caller is Shayla from Connecticut.
Hi, Shayla.
How you doing,
Hello.
Shayla?
Hi, nice to meet you all. I'm so excited to be talking to you today.
Yeah, same here. How can we help you?
So I will go ahead and read off my question. My name is Shayla, and I am a 21-year-old college student, and I've been lifting for about 3 years now. I wanted to call in because the last few months I've been struggling with recovering from an injury. In September, I started experiencing sciatic pain that was primarily in my lower back and radiated down my leg on the right side of my body. And I started to going to physical therapy, and she told me that I have SI joint dysfunction. Mm-hmm. And then I started doing rehab after that, and then slowly reintroduced lifting again. And I got to be pain-free for a little bit. And then recently, since the past week or so, I started experiencing pain again in my lower back, and then what I believe is in my piriformis muscle, because exercises like cat and cow and 90-90s, they cause pain in my lower back and right glute. Additionally, since my initial injury, I've been experiencing spasm-like sensations in my right foot, when I walk for extended periods of time. It's like a tingling and kind of like numb sensation. And my toes kind of curl up as I'm walking. And then for a little more context, I'm 5'4", about 145 pounds. I eat around 2,300 calories a day. I consistently hit my 150 gram protein goal through mostly whole foods, and I average 13 to 15,000 steps a day. Essentially, I wanted to ask what program or training routine is best for me as someone whose goal is to build muscle and stay injury-free with my past issues in mind.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
All right.
So here's sometimes what happens with physical therapy. Okay, so SI joint dysfunction, common. It's actually quite common. Piriformis syndrome, quite common. Sciatica pain as a result. Did they explain all this to you, like kind of how the piriformis muscle sits on the sciatic nerve, presses on it? They explained that to you? Okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you have SI joint dysfunction, then you've got a lot of muscles trying to stabilize. One of them being the piriformis. And if you get that sciatica nerve pressed on long enough, it can cause tingling, numbness. It can cause heat, and it can go down all the way down the leg. Usually it's in the back of the leg, but sometimes it can go down as low as what you mentioned, down to your foot. So it's all kind of related. Now, here's what happens sometimes with PT is we'll rehab something until it's good enough, but not good enough to go back to heavy training, bilateral movements, squats, deadlifts, that kind of stuff. What movements do you think bothered it? Was it a deadlift? Was it a squat? What were you doing?
Also, quick question too. Are you an athlete at all or do anything else outside of this training? Just curious.
I typically I run a half marathon. I've been doing that for the past 3 years. I'll run one a year. And then I'm a group fitness instructor. So I do that. I run about 4 to 5 classes a week at school.
Okay.
So that's kind of.
I'm glad you asked.
background life.
This is why I asked. There's other stuff normally probably alluding or leading to a lot of this stuff too.
Yeah. So how did you re-hurt it? What were you doing?
So the day before I started experiencing the original sciatic pain, I did a lower body day. And in that day, I did hip thrusts, Bulgarians, I did Romanian deadlift. And I think it was probably the hip thrusts because I typically do machine hip thrusts. And that day I did barbell. And that after the first exercise of doing that, it initially started to feel like a little bit sore, but not like super concerning. Yeah. And then the next day is when the concerning pain started.
Are you okay with reducing the Group X teaching, or is that how are you getting paid to do that? Is that your job through college?
I am, but I did scale back on that. So during my original injury, I was teaching, I think 6 classes a week, and most of them were more instruction based where I was doing the exercises with them. However, I started doing more coaching style. So I'm not necessarily doing the exercise. I'm just kind of walking around the room. So I've definitely scaled that back.
Much better.
Good. So it's going to take longer than you think to get you back to a place where you go back to your lifting. Okay. So once you feel better, that doesn't mean you're done. Then you start to work on changing recruitment patterns. Yeah. And strengthening. Right. I think right now a MAPS 15 performance protocol would be good, which is going to feel like a lot less than what you're probably used to. It's 2 lifts a day. Yeah. And I want you to do that in combination with the correctional exercise that you got from PT. How are you still doing those?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. And are you foam rolling your piriformis and all that stuff before you train?
Yes, I started doing that. I wasn't doing that recently, but in the last week or so since I started having that pain.
Yeah.
Actually, what about Symmetry 15? Only because
there you go.
I think that some unilateral emphasis will do you well, especially to get that stability again. I think around the hips, especially like single leg type work is really going to go far.
Yeah, I like that. Right. I forgot we had that. Symmetry 15 would be good, and keep the intensity moderate for like 3 months.
The PT work that they have you doing should be the bedrock and the foundation of the movement stuff that you do, and then the only bit of strength training you do is MAP 15 Symmetry. All the other like running classes, that stuff is only going to exacerbate this issue until we get really strong and stable in the hips. going back to all that stuff is just going to, even when you start to feel good, there's going to come a point where you're like, oh, I feel good. If you go right back to all that stuff, it's going to happen again. Yeah. You're a very active person. So this should just become a part of your movement. You get down, you do all these movements that your PT had you do on a very regular basis, absolutely before you do any sort of exercise or classes or so that it should be a part of it, but doing it as much as you possibly can. And then strength training, all you really need is like 2 exercises in a workout. That's it.
Perform very slow and controlled. So that's the other thing too, is if we're trying to strengthen these patterns, we're really trying to be hyper aware of what's taking you out of that pattern. And so, when you start feeling lateral forces, rotational forces taking you in a certain direction, you want to be able to correct real time and really slow down and be effective in that movement.
Just to put it very simple, right? Simply, what you're trying to do is create a new default muscle recruitment pattern. And that takes a little longer than people think. And so what happens is you can start to train it and start to feel better. But when you push the intensity, the old default kicks back in. Yeah. Because it's a stronger program still. Yeah. Now I want to encourage you. This is a very fixable issue.
Yes.
Very. Okay. It becomes chronic in people because they do this thing where they make it feel better and then they go back and they push a little bit and then it hurts again and then it's on and off, and eventually people are like, I don't want to work out anymore.
Plus, you're still going to progress with strength and aesthetic goals, and so don't be discouraged by that while you're addressing this. It's just this is what we need to address and really sharpen our mechanics.
And this is why running classes, any sort of like high intensity type stuff is the enemy here. Because it's like to Sal's point, as soon as you get going and you increase intensity and you do a lot of stuff, you're going to go to the default pattern. We really need to slow down the training and exercise, really put a lot of work in the corrective. So that, again, that's why the foundation is the corrective work. That is you don't miss that. You do that all the time. And then when you sprinkle in strength training, it looks like a 15 protocol. And then avoid this stuff. Otherwise, every time you go to these long runs or intense type classes or lots of like fast type movements, you're going to go to the default pattern. You're going to slow everything down.
It'll just automatically, as soon as fatigue kicks in or lots of intensity and struggle kicks in, your body's better at the old default pattern. It'll just go right to it. And then that's what causes. So, you want to give yourself a good probably 3 months at least of training this way before you start to slowly scale up to see how you feel.
Okay, will the MAPS 15 take me through that 3 months? Okay.
It's about 3 months long.
Yeah. Yep. And then honestly, after scaling up to me would look like going to symmetry as a whole program. So MAPS 15 symmetry right now with all the corrective work we're talking about. And then as you start to get strong, feel better. And if you want to do more strength training, it would look like MAPS symmetry, the full program is what I would go to. So that would serve you the best.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. Are you in a health related field? What are you studying?
I am studying health sciences, and then I'm applying to my master's in speech language pathology.
Cool. I had a feeling you were going to be in the health field. Awesome. Well, good deal. So we're going to send you Symmetry 15. Follow that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You got it. All right. Thank you. Yeah, the whole default, the recruitment pattern thing.
I knew she was doing other stuff.
Yeah. Good question. The default pattern stuff, it's hard for people to understand, but I like to use the analogy on a keyboard, right? If you type with 2 fingers all the time, and then you try to learn how to type properly, you're going to be slower with the proper technique for a while. Yeah. So in other words, if I'm practicing the proper way and then someone holds a gun to my head and says, go as fast as you can, I'm going to go back to my old way because I'm better at it, even though it's not as effective. Ultimately, this is what happens. So when you have a default pattern, it's like basically it kicks in when you're tired and it kicks in when the intensity's high. So that's why this process has to be very deliberate and you have to be careful with the intensity.
I'm so glad that you brought up how common SI joint dysfunction and sciatica is, because
it was like 30% of my clients.
So many. In fact, this is we talk about the challenges as trainers that we had. One of the challenges I always had as a trainer, especially as a young trainer, was when I got a client who'd be like, oh, I can't do that because I have sciatica. Yeah. I have sciatic issues. Yeah. And it's like, we can fix that, right?
Dude,
it's like, that's not like you're not not like plagued with this.
So fixable.
It's so fixable and it's so common. But people continued. And the reason why they don't believe it is because they do something, they feel a little bit better. They go through their physical therapy to the point you're making. Yeah. Then they go right back to their old shit. And it comes back. And then they're like,
so they've had it for years.
So it's like I got bad knees. I got bad hips. I got bad shoulders. I have sciatica. It's like, no, we can fix these things.
Patterns.
Exactly. We can fix all these things and understand. But what you've done in the past is not fixing it, and so we need to change some of those behaviors. We need to change some of those patterns, and we can solve this.
All of the issues that I would encounter with clients, the common ones: shoulder pain, back pain, knee pain, sciatic pain, SI joint pain,
all fixable.
The sciatica and SI joint pain was the most guaranteed,
most direct.
Yeah. It was the most like, oh, cool,
like,
you got that.
I know what to do.
Just give me a couple months, it'll be gone. Look, if you like the show, come find us on Instagram. We'll see you. It's at Mind Pump Media.
That would make a really good guide to a potential sale.
Pain.
Yes.
Sci pain.
I don't know why we haven't thought of that. I mean, that was such a common.
Super common.
And so many people avoid strength training because
I wouldn't call SI, right? Just sciatica back pain.
Yeah.
Our next caller is Kyle from British Columbia.
Hey, what's up, Kyle?
What's happening?
Hey guys, what a trip this is to see you guys and actually be talking to you. I was just listening to you guys this morning. This is great.
How can we help you, man?
All right.
All right. Well, before I begin, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. And I just want to thank you personally for saving podcasts. Don't get me wrong. I love health science and studies and all that, but you guys are rare in the case where you make it relatable. And honestly, I feel that's the best way to help people. So just want to get that.
Appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Now, regarding my question, I have it written out here just so I don't ramble. I tend to do that, so I'll try to stay on point here, but I'll summarize my question and just kind of fill you in on my backstory, just so you have my current situation, just for context and all that. Okay, so simply put, it's my 35th birthday this week, and as always, I'm looking to upgrade my life and health in any way I can each year. And I've learned that without health, life basically sucks. So the more you can improve that, especially the older I get, the better. So I feel like I've kind of reached a training midlife crisis in a way, to put it. I'm looking for some enlightenment on how to continue here and just move on to a new chapter into my fitness. Trying to kind of overcome a plateau and just try to adapt a new way of training. I also have one semi-unique lifestyle factor that I'm trying to learn how to turn that challenge into an annual benefit here. So in terms of my backstory here, you can feel free to tell me to shut up at any point, but I'll just try to fill you in here.
Okay.
All right. So I began my life in a state of poor health and obesity, unfortunately. And that was about the age of 10 or 11. And at that point, I still remember to this day, I was looking at the scale and it reached 200 pounds. And I was like, man, once I reach 200 pounds, I got to do something. And then it kind of continued and I reached 210 pounds. Then I was like, okay. That in combination with, of course, being a kid, you have that motivation of the bullies and all that stuff, right? So it was time to make a change. And being a young kid, I honestly had no education, like no knowledge of what to do. So I remember starting my workouts. I'd do just like 10 bodyweight squats at night. And I'd be like tired. I'd be like, okay, that's my start. That's the go for it. So that was that. And in terms of diet, I really had no idea. So after seeing zero progress after a bit, I was still motivated to change. So I read the first book I found on the subject, which basically just told me to eat real food, and it gave me a basic weight training program. So I started that, and that was really hard. Even just changing food, going from Oreos to an apple took me like 2 weeks. I just spat out the apple. It just didn't taste like, it wasn't sweet enough, right? So I was going through that transformation, and about 2 years of following that, 2 years of following that, I continued to lose weight. I ended up losing about 50 pounds. I reached down to about 160, 170. And I basically maintained that until my early 30s. And I still didn't really know what I was doing. And looking back on all this, it really just, like, I didn't really notice the transformations. like physically as they developed, I was more focused on the mental aspects. I realized that like my mental health got so much better, and that's kind of why I continued. And so I just kept doing that, but I was strictly kind of more cardio based until my early 30s, really. And it came to another point where my wife was pointing out, she's like, Kyle, you work out every day, but you look so weak. Like you're weak, you're skinnier than the other dudes. And I was like, oh man, that's kind of something. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. And that's when I started getting into the weight training. So I found you guys and I started listening. I ended up getting MAP Split. And I started adapting that. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to the gym. I'm going to start lifting weights finally. And within a year of doing that, I gained like 10 pounds, which I imagine is muscle. Like I didn't gain fat. I was mostly muscle there. And I really started to notice for the first time a difference. And that was just like basic weight training, like the split program there. And I just absolutely love that method of training. Since then, my wife has noticed a difference as well, and now she started weight training as well, which is great. I got her MAPS 15 for Christmas, and it's kind of like getting her there. We just got the kids at home now, so that really works well. So I actually stopped going to the gym. We work out at home now. I invested in some weights here. And at this point, like I'm just really looking for, like I've done the split style and I feel like I'm still getting stronger, but at the same time, I haven't really been seeing much progress lately. I'm starting to kind of feel like I'm peaking, like I'm adding a little bit of weight here and there, but I hear you guys talking about like changing things up throughout the year or adding different kind of dynamic movements or ways to go about it. I'm just curious from someone who, like given my training background so far and just following the split style, if there's anything I could be doing to really help. I want to get a little bit stronger still and kind of just overcome this and move on to a new chapter of strength building, basically.
The answer is actually really easy. Doing it might be the challenging part, and because it's going to be related to nutrition. And so you probably are due for a reverse diet where we start to actually add calories. You've got the newbie gains from lifting weights and you've put on some good muscle, and you're probably feeling like you've kind of peaked out a little bit because you're peaked out for the amount of calories and nutrition you're giving the body. And the body will, if you give it more and continue following MAPS programs, you can follow any of the ones that you want to. I mean, they're all going to be great, and you're going to respond well to all of them since it's all pretty novel to you. But you probably need to increase calories. Any idea on what your calorie intake is right now? Have you ever tracked before?
To be honest, I haven't tracked too closely. I went through about a month where I tried it, and my best guess would be around like 23. But I'm glad you brought up nutrition, because I honestly feel like that's my biggest downfall at this point. I just started focusing more on protein, but I feel like a reverse diet would be a good way, because I wanted to ask you guys, I have this issue where it's like, I feel like I'm eating, an appropriate amount, but there's like twice a week, I just feel like I have this insatiable appetite where it just like bring on more and more. And it's like,
that's your body telling you it wants more to go build more, because you're doing the right things by lifting. You're doing a good lifting program. You're sending the signal to the body. It needs more muscle. Your body's going, we need more nutrients. And so that feeling you have is a natural good feeling, and it's the body telling you we need more material to go build you more muscle.
Kyle, when you because you talked about working out as a 10-year-old and bullying and being overweight, do you have a fear of getting fat or overweight?
To be honest, it's been in my mind. Yes, I like for me personally, once I lost the weight, it's just like there's two sides of it, really. It's like the one side is once I started to lose the weight and develop my consistent exercise, just mentally at that point in my life, I had a lot of just like depression, anxiety, and stuff like that. So that honestly just like disappeared. I felt super optimistic. Like once I started the exercise, I know there's brain benefits and all that. It made a huge change. So I'm scared of losing that. But at the same time, I noticed that people treated me different after, like after I made my transformation. And I fear in a way that because I got that through consistency and all that stuff, I fear like if I backtrack on that in any way or just kind of deviate, I don't know. I just grew up having like, I was treated poorly because of that. So it's definitely in my mind.
I'll let you know something, okay? The respect. Sometimes we associate how we look with the change in the way people treat us, but what's deeper than that is you're a doer and a go-getter. By the way, that's where you get a lot of the mental health benefits. Yes, there's physiological changes that we can measure, but if I induce physiological changes with medications, you don't get the same benefit. We know this on the data. The data shows this quite clearly. Where a lot of it comes from is you're a kid, you want to make a change, and so you just start working at it.
Yep.
And then it starts to work. And so you build that muscle of discipline and skill, and then the confidence comes from that.
Exudes from that.
And that's what people kind of see. And that's what earns the respect. So it had more to do with that. So I just want to let you know that. I knew I could feel that there's that underlying fear of, what if I become that, what if I just gain tons of body fat type of deal? Your body definitely needs more calories. So guy your size, I would aim for 200 grams of protein a day. So you're looking at 4 meals with 50 grams of protein, whole foods, don't cut anything out, have some carbs in there. And that should guide you. And then workout wise, split is a lot of volume. And it's amazing that you gained muscle, which tells me that you were a bit depleted going into it. And so you just started to feed yourself and not maybe burn yourself out. But MAPS anabolic plus an increase in calories and hitting your protein, you'll build another 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'll gain another 10 pounds of muscle.
Oh, yeah.
No problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
No problem.
Sure.
But MAPS anabolic is less volume. You're not going to be working out 6 days a week. You'll be lifting 3 days a week.
That rest recovery is really where the magic is.
Yep.
And you're going to find that, especially if you start replenishing your body with nutrients. And on top of that, everything is just going to accelerate.
Are you doing anything else you haven't told us too as far as exercise? Are you running too?
No, actually, I'm going for daily walks.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's all good. I just want to make sure.
MAPS anabolic, 50 grams of protein, 4 meals a day, have other stuff in the meals, and your strength's going to go through the roof.
Yep.
And you're going to gain another 10 pounds of muscle.
You're gonna trip out.
No problem.
Yep.
If you gain 10 pounds of muscle on split,
Yeah.
you gain 10 on anabolic.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because split is too much volume for most people. That's an advanced bodybuilder routine where everything is like, so anabolic, bump your calories, 200 grams of protein a day. If you hit that every single day with whole natural foods, you have to chase it. I'll tell you that much because it's not easy. Like 200 grams of protein doesn't happen on accident. So you're gonna have to like really go for it, and your strength's gonna explode. Your squat, your deadlift, your bench, your overhead press, your rows.
Then you follow that up with power lift.
Is going to go through the roof.
Definitely don't allow yourself to be hungry, right? When you feel that hunger signal kick up, just go eat a full meal that's 40 grams of protein. That's a simple way to handle this is like if you're not good on tracking or you don't like tracking, is like you're hungry, go eat and go eat a meal that has 40, 50 grams of protein in it and just listen to your body.
But you may actually feel like you're overeating.
Yeah, it'll take
because you're so used to undereating. So that's why I'm saying 50 grams of protein 4 times a day with food. And so what you want to do is this. You don't have to track and weigh everything, but you get a good idea of what that looks like. Okay, that's 8 ounces of meat. Okay, now I know what it looks like. That's what I'm aiming for. Whether it's chicken, steak, fish, that's what it looks like. 50 grams of protein for eggs. What is that? That's 7 eggs, 8 eggs or something like that, 9 eggs. So just get an idea what that looks like, and then eat that 4 times a day. Follow MAPS anabolic. If you're getting stronger, you're moving in the right direction. And your wife's going to trip out. She's like, what's going on?
Right on.
Over the whole thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
And all the mental and the other positive, you're going to see all kinds of other benefits. Yeah.
More. Yeah.
Energy will go up. Yeah. Strength will go up. Libido will go up. You'll probably sleep better. You'll see all kinds of other positive benefits. Yeah. So more to come, buddy.
Excellent. That's really exciting to hear. And yeah, it sounds like it's kind of solving my issues there in the back of my mind. So I really appreciate that, guys.
Yeah. Hey, can we have you back on in a few months? I want to see what happens in 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm even more excited. I got a path here and some follow up. I dig that. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to. I'm gonna anabolic the heck out of this next couple months here, and I'll be pounding those eggs.
Yeah,
love it.
Track the weights because I can't wait to see the strength gains. So we'll send that to you.
I'm excited.
Phase 1 in particular, you're gonna love.
Right on, guys. May I just bug you on one more quick question?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have one kind of unique thing I'm trying to, as I'm thinking ahead in life, just like in training and stuff, and my wife and I, we're in a really good routine now, but there's one mix-up that kind of makes it a bit challenging throughout the years. Every year, we visit our family out in Japan for about 2 months, and I have all my weights out here. I've got nothing out there. I've collected a kettlebell last time I was there, but like in terms of the year, would you use that as an advantage to... like, is there a way to train if you have minimal? Like, just okay.
Yeah, I'll say so. MAP suspension. That's our program that you use a suspension trainer, and you can pack that in your suitcase, and that's your workout for the 2 months you're over there.
I want you to know though, Kyle, you do a good job of reverse dieting and hitting anabolic consistently. Those 2 weeks?
No, it's 2 months.
It's 2 months you're out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 months you're out there. So you'll MAP suspension will be perfect.
Yeah, you just follow that.
Preserve everything you built.
Yeah. So we'll send you MAPS anabolic, and I'll send you a code for MAP suspension if you want to get that now ahead of time. And that program is easy to. It's literally all you need is a suspension trainer. Fits in your suitcase, and then
super convenient.
As long as you have a doorway or a tree or something, you're good.
Excellent. Well, I'll definitely find one of those.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, we got you.
Awesome. Oh, this is so exciting. Yeah, I'll see if my wife wants to join me too.
Oh yeah, it'll be great for both of you.
Yeah, it'd be great for both of you guys.
Yeah, we'll talk to you in a few months.
Right on. Well, thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it. Love the podcast. And Doug, you do an awesome job too. I know you're in there somewhere. So all the best to you
Doug
guys.
speaks Japanese too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Right on, guys.
All right, take it easy, Kyle.
Take it easy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks.
It was 2 months. I thought you said 2 weeks.
No, 2 months.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
No, he's gonna
He'll
have to do
need
something.
some plan.
Yeah, he'll have to do something. But dude, so
Bro, I knew right away. I was
just for people listening.
Oh yeah.
If you never strength train and you gain 10 pounds of muscle and the first program you do is split, split's a great program, but it's too much volume for most people, especially as a beginner.
And so
he gained that because
incredible.
He strength trained and finally fed himself a little bit and stopped doing so much cardio.
Yeah.
But MAPS anabolic, if he gained 10 on split, he would have gained 15 to 18 on MAPS anabolic.
There's so much more potential for him.
Oh,
It's
I think
crazy.
he's going to gain every bit of that.
Crazy.
I mean, if he can eat. That the hardest part.
You're right.
So like the answer, like I said, was easy. The hard part will be the mental block of like, you know, you don't
he
want
has
to go
some
back.
reserves for sure.
But he has so
The other
much
thing
potential.
too is just so crazy how your childhood it just forms you and shapes
navigates
you. You deal with it for the rest of your life, So, but I'm glad he called us.
Our next caller is Chris from South Carolina.
What's up, Chris?
What's up, Chris?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Adam, Justin, Sal, and Doug. It's been a long time. I've been watching since probably 2016 or so.
Wow.
Hey,
wow,
dude.
Dang,
you're
you've
like
been on
family.
the
You're like
ride.
family then.
Yeah, man. How can I help you, dude?
One of the originals, I'd like to say.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm not a huge talker, so I'm just going to read it right off here. Listen to the show for years. I've bought many of your guys' programs. I've jumped in and out of them. I'm really struggling. I've yo-yo dieted my entire life, gained and lost weight. My heaviest before I enlisted in the military was 305 pounds, and then I've gotten all the way down to 182 pounds. I've lived in between that for the past 15 years. My biggest struggle right now is staying compliant with military height and weight standards. They're very stringent when it comes to a number versus a height. It's currently up for review though, so they're going away from, right now we do a neck to waist circumference value in the Marines, but the whole Department of Defense or Department of War is going to a height to waist ratio, which will lend a little bit better to me. I'm 6 foot, 36 years old. I'm pretty run down. Military's not been kind. Separated my shoulder. I've had compartment syndrome. I have severe osteoarthritis in both knees. Then IED explosion. List goes on and on. Most recently, I've dealt with a Morton neuroma in my foot, and that plus the arthritis has really slowed me down. I understand this is like very broad. We do 2 different PT tests a year. One is more endurance based, pull-ups, plank, and a 3-mile run. The other one's more quick twitch type stuff, more up Justin's alley. I'm open to any suggestions you guys have. I just want to get programming because, like I said, bought tons of your guys' stuff, but it's always like it's either weightlifting or endurance, and I've not ever learned the healthy cycle of both of them. I really want to be happy and healthy. Sitting right at 250 pounds at 6 foot right now. Definitely not in a good shape that I've been in my life. I've hired coaches before. I went with the dumb ones online, crush it, kill it, cut me down to 1,200 calories, and that's what I've been at. Yeah. One thing to maintain those height and weight standards, I have crash dieted and fasted. I know you guys hate me for it. Don't fast for fat loss. Doesn't work in the long run. But you know, I've powered through my. I've done probably 2-3 weeks where I wouldn't eat just to be within standards. Yeah. So really, just throwing it out to you guys. I know that's like way all over the place.
No, it's good. I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what to do with someone like you. But first off, thanks for your service.
Thanks for support. You know, it's what I do.
Listen, your discipline is your strength, but it's also your weakness because you have the ability to turn it on or turn it off. And so this tends to be what you do, right? You're like, okay, I got to make it happen, and to hell with the pain, to hell with the hunger, and I'm just going to make it happen. That button, we need to stop hitting it though. It's not working for you anymore. It's caused injuries. And you're probably tired. It sounds like you're tired of it. You're tired of that on-off type of deal. Yeah.
It would be real nice. Like even to join, like I told you before, I was 300 pounds. I did the machinist diet, can of tuna and apple a day to lose 60 pounds in a month. You know, I was all about it. Brutal. I'm still all about it. You know, it's like
listen, dude.
You can do it.
If you I'm sure you do. You're probably very coachable. You just need the right coach. You need the right coach. Like you're so coachable.
That would be the hope.
You're so coachable that I could be a crappy coach and they'll do what I say and you'll just follow. Yeah.
Which is what I did.
Yeah. You need a good coach. Yeah. You need somebody who knows what they're doing, who's going to get you out of this cycle, prevent the injury, get you healthy, get you fit, and get you in a place where you don't do the cycling up and down anymore. That's what you need. I could give you the advice right now, but it's a long conversation. This is a hard cycle to break. It's because you've been living here for a long time. I mean, how long have you been doing this up and down?
I'm going on 15 years this year.
Yeah, this is like a part of who you are. So
pretty much,
you need the right coach, dude. Because I could give you the advice right now, but this mentality that you have is what we need to work on.
Steps.
It's going to take time. It's going to take months of work, and you're going to want to go harder. So what's going to happen? Well, if I give you advice, coach you a little bit, be like, can I turn it up? I'm like, no, dude. And you're going to need me in your ear, kind of helping you through the process. And then at some point, you'll see that it feels good and it's working. Then you'll start to trust the process. And then you'll develop a different different behaviors around.
A different relationship.
And relationship.
Totally different associations.
With all that stuff. If you don't have the right coach, you're gonna be stuck here for a while. It's gonna be really hard.
I mean, I've heard it from you guys time and time again. It's like, I've always done it not with any help or anything, just with me. Like, I'm waiting for that, like, oh, this is actually working, and I've never had that feeling.
Yeah, no, I get it, dude. And what's hard?
You can
totally. And what's hard with someone like you, I'll just tell you the challenge because I've worked with people like you before. The challenge is when we're doing things right, I'm fighting you to not do too much.
Yeah,
that's the constant conversation.
Yeah,
is you're gonna be like, that's not enough, and I'll be like, dude, chill. This is plenty. We're moving in the right direction. And a lot of this is diet. And the other side of it is the over-application of intensity. But the hard part's probably the diet. That's going to be the harder part. That's typically the harder part. The intensity part we can work with. And there's going to be times you have to turn it up anyway because you are in the military. And that's totally fine. But the idea is to keep your joints healthy, having you feel good, be generally fit so that you can turn it up when you need to, not hurt yourself or drive yourself into the ground. diet wise is going to be difficult because it's not going to be this extreme.
Yeah, well, the reason why the diet part's hard is because we want you like in a Goldilocks zone where there's not a lot of movement on the scale, and that mentally messes with people like yourself who have the ability to like lose 30 pounds in 30 days because you've been able to do that before. And so when you're coaching someone like you and you're like, listen, you're right where I want you calorie wise, you're right where I'm at, what we're doing, and you're going like, it's not moving, we're not moving, and then that's the part we'll wrestle with going through this process. And then you just got to kind of surrender. You got to surrender that to somebody you trust to kind of guide you through that process. And then the light bulb goes off because then at one point you'll see it, you'll feel it, and you'll go like, shit, this is the easiest effort I've ever put towards this. And I'm at where, and then you'll have this unlock. But it's the coaching to get there and the hand holding to get there of like, just trust the process. I got you. Let me lead you. And then all of a sudden the switch hits and you're like, oh, wow, this is a trip that I feel like I'm trying a quarter of what I've tried in the past, yet I feel better, I'm stronger, I'm fitter, all the things. And then that becomes sustainable. That's sustainable.
The advice you'll get is you've listened to the show for a long time, so you're not going to hear anything that's going to blow your mind. You're like, well, yeah, I know I should do that. I know I should hit my protein. Okay, yes, I need a reverse diet. I need to strength train. I need to work on mobility. I need to not overdo it. I need to focus on sleep. You're going to hear all the stuff that you've heard us say on the podcast. The key though, the kicker is the guidance, the coaching throughout the process. So
offload it.
That's it.
Yeah. We need to offload this somebody trustworthy that has your best.
If you're open to working with a coach, if that's feasible for you, I'll have our guy call you and set you up. But the advice you're going to get isn't going to be like revolutionary. And I'm like, oh my God, I never heard that before. You'll be like, okay, that makes sense. And then you're going to check in with them constantly and keep open communication. Like, hey, man, I feel like I got to do more, or I feel like I'm eating too much, or it's not moving fast enough. And then just keep working with the coach. And it'll take a few months, but in a few months, you'll be sold. In a few months, you'll be like, okay, this works.
I'm 100% open to it. Like I said, I'm 36 years old, and like that's not old, but I feel old.
Yeah. Well, bro, you're 36 with a lot of hardcore mileage,
doing a lot of crazy stuff to your body.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So
we'll fix it though, Chris. We'll fix it.
Yeah. I'm 100% open to it, and as long as it's one of like your dudes, because like I'm tired of the crush it, kill it. Like you see everything on Instagram. I want to work with somebody that you guys.
Not only is that the worst, that's the worst for a guy like you, because you're the type of guy that will go do it.
You'll do all that stuff.
You're the guy that go do it. Like, that's what makes it really bad. Like those guys are already bad, but most people don't do it. Like you're the guy who's like, okay, I got this.
You're the guy that probably gets a little excited when they're like, you're working out twice a day. You're going to eat 1,200 calories. Like, all right, let's go. Horrible, bro. You don't need David Goggins. Those are the worst guys. We got good people. They know exactly how to coach people the right way, and very solvable, very, very solvable what you're going through.
We'll have them call you, Chris, and then we'll be checking in with you. And then I'd love to have you back on the show after you've gone through it so you can talk about it.
Awesome. I look forward to it, guys. I appreciate everything, and it's been like great watching, like growing up with you guys. Feel like one of the five of y'all, or you got the four and I'm the fifth guy there, awesome. Watching your guys' transformation over a decade.
Well, dude, if you ever come to California, tell your coach and he'll have you come in and hang out in the studio.
We appreciate it, dude.
I will.
You're part of the family.
Yeah, stop picking on Justin so much, Adam.
I can take it, bro.
It's good for him.
Justin likes it.
It's good.
People
It's
don't
good
know.
for his ego.
It gives me ammo.
If we don't pick on him, he gets angry.
Destroy them with later. Don't worry.
Dude.
All right,
Thanks, man.
All right, Chris.
Have a good one.
See you, brother.
Yeah, dude. That's the. It literally is like all or nothing.
Yeah.
And I've trained people like that. And the hardest part is to pull it back, dude.
I know.
It's like, even in the workout, I would have clients like this. In the workout, I'm fighting.
Dude, he'll run through a wall.
In the workout, I would fight with people like this. I'd be like, okay, you're done. What do you mean? I can keep going.
The point that I was making why this is so difficult is because for 15 years, he knows that he can turn it on and drop 40 pounds like overnight
to achieve the objective.
Yeah, he'll just not eat. He'll have tuna and apples. Like he knows he's done all the crazy shit.
Yeah.
And so when you get a guy like that and you're like, hey, this is what you want to do, and he's like 3 weeks in, he's like, the scale hasn't moved.
Yeah.
I don't feel.
I know how to solve this.
Yeah, and there's a part of him that's just like, well, this isn't better than what I've done. You know what I'm saying? And so you're constantly.
But he feels it now. Injuries. I'm tired. I feel old. I'm beat up.
He's in the right place. He's in the right place now. Of like, okay, surrender. Let the coach take you.
Yep.
We'll take good care of him.
All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. One of the keys to fat loss is protein. It's true. If you're not eating a high-protein diet, you're not going to burn as much body fat as you can. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about the smartest ways to use protein for fat burn and to build muscle. You got to watch this.
I wish I understood this earlier in my career. I think it was probably almost 10 years in when I started to just focus on this with clients.
I knew it was important,
Yeah.
but I don't know how important.
Yeah, I knew it was important, but I also didn't